The first two Cubs to face him in game 2. That was last Wednesday. And Kerry Wood walked 5 and 7 1/3 on Tuesday night.
Here we go. Kenny Lofton digging in at .296 during the regular year. 12 home runs, 46 batted in, 4 of 17 in the series. He looks at ball 1, and we are underway. Our broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. Great to have you with us. A beautiful night in Atlanta, and the crowd into it already. Hammered into right field. Giving chase is Sheffield, and it's up against the wall. A leadoff double for Kenny Lofton.
Kenny Lofton with his 3rd postseason team. So many years with Cleveland. Last year with the San Francisco Giants and Dusty Baker. And this year for the Cubs. Obtained from the Pirates right at the trade deadline. An inside fastball. Hampton tried to get in. So Mark Grudzielanek, you don't really know whether he's up there to bunt. If he fails to get him over, Lofton a stolen base threat at second base.
And bunting on the first pitch from Hampton is Grudzielanek, who had 7 sacrifices during the regular year. He fouls it off. The Cubs with runners in scoring position so far in this series, just 9 of 43. A .209 batting average. Each team has scored 14 runs in the series. Atlanta with 3 home runs. Chicago with a pair. An early scoring chance for the Cubs. Bunted foul, and it's 0-2. Boy, the little things are the largest things.
Well, sometimes the failure to get a runner over can turn into a good thing for a ball club, too. Grudzielanek, a contact hitter, a tough 2-strike hitter. And I don't think he'll be bunting with 2 strikes now, because the odds are much better for him to swing away. That 2-strike bunt, it's good for pitchers and pitchers alone.
Down and into Grudzielanek. Still 0-2. Bobby Cox and Dusty Baker both in very good spirits before the ball game today. Both very much liking their team's chances of advancing on. You see very good numbers for Grudzielanek against Hampton. But this time he struck him out.
This is a disappearing fastball down and into Grudzielanek. Thing about Mike Hampton, oh, that was a slider. That was not a fastball. It disappeared, I know that. Tight spin on that one. This is a tough choice right here. You're in the first inning. Do you pitch around Sosa? You can't walk him because Moises Alou, the hottest Cub hitter.
Sosa 3 of 13 in the series. His lone RBI came against Hampton in the first inning of game 2. Strike 1. Sammy disagreeing with that strike called by home plate umpire Jeffrey Kellogg. Dusty Baker brought his San Francisco Giants here to Turner Field last year and won the decisive game 5, advancing on to the NLCS. 1-1 to Sosa. Sammy, 40 home runs during the regular season, 103 runs batted in. 10th on the all-time home run list with 539 career home runs. In the dirt, and Lofton will advance to third on the wild pitch.
Yeah, that's a ball that should have been fielded by Javy Lopez. Javy with his best year offensively. That ball right there, whenever you see a catcher extend that glove out, he exposes the heel of the glove, the hardest part of the catcher's mitt, and it caroms off of that. See guys with good hands like Pudge Rodriguez make plays like that, but often that's the wrong way to go about it.
Infield conceding the run except for Julio Franco at first base. Anything hit right at him, if the runner breaks, he'll come to the plate. And I would imagine the runner's going on contact in the opening inning tonight.
Sure. On any ground ball to anybody on the infield except the guy on your screen, Mike Hampton.
3-1 to Sosa. And he walks him. They're on the corners with one away, and Alou coming up.
Another big difference between the two pitchers tonight. With the runner on at third base and less than 2 out, Kerry Wood can get the strikeout. It's very difficult for Mike Hampton to get the strikeout because he has to stay down in the strike zone. And usually balls down on the strike zone, as we in the strike zone, as we said earlier, those are the ones that hitters make contact on. So don't look for too many strikeouts with the runner on at third and less than 2 outs from Hampton.
Alou has had an outstanding series. 8 hits and 16 at bats. Swing and a miss. Alou in his career a .391 hitter against Mike Hampton.
So far, the Cubs have not been patient on those sliders down and in by Hampton.
Lofton started the inning with a double into right field. Went to third on a wild pitch. Sosa walked. They're on the corners with one away. Down and away. And that's a pitch Hampton is hoping that Alou will pound into the ground at one of his middle infielders.
That's exactly right. Whenever you're watching a game and you see a pitcher going away with the fastball, that's your double play ball. Pitchers never pitch hitters inside to get double play balls. It's always away.
A ball and a strike to Moises Alou. Way through that pitch down and away.
Again, out of the strike zone. If the Cub hitters continue to swing at that pitch, there's no sense to throw him a strike.
Well, in years past, it has been a laid-back Turner Field crowd. Anything but tonight. Alou did not chase it this time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now, Dusty Baker admitted even before the ball game that he has been far more aggressive with his base runners in this series than at any time during the regular year. You think any chance Sosa gets started? 2-2 pitch?
I don't think 2-2, but 3-2, you can book it.
Fouled away, and Sosa was not running.
Sammy Sosa with his first stolen base of the year last Tuesday night. After only 1 attempt all year, he was caught stealing 1 time and got his first stolen base.
And they have put him in motion 2 or 3 times already in this series.
Yeah, right.
Hampton runs it up and in to Alou. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's why you don't want to run him until the count is 3-2. 2-2's not a good time to run him because the pitcher may go out of the zone, which Hampton did. Now he'll be running.
The Cubs scored twice off Hampton in the opening inning of Game 2, a game they lost. 3-2 pitch. Sosa not going. And it's in the air, short left field. It will fall in front of Chipper Jones. Scoring is Kenny Lofton, and Chicago on the board.
The sequence to Moises Alou. Hampton never threw him a strike. 2-2. Now the 3-2 pitch, or the 2-2 pitch fouled away. Now it's 3-2. Off the plate, and an RBI single for the Cubs' hottest hitter, Moises Alou.
Alou now 9 of 17 in the series. He has 3 runs batted in. And now Aramis Ramirez. who's also had a pretty good series. 4 of 14. Hit 27 home runs during the regular year. Ramirez, along with Kenny Lofton, came over from the Pirates on the 22nd of July. The Cubs at the time were 1 game over 500. After the trade, 38 and 25. 2-0.
Talking about that ball Moises Alou hit, Sosa couldn't get a good read. That ball had enough hang time. Had Sosa gone on contact, he's on third base. But because he couldn't get a good read on it, he had to stop at second and make sure.
3-0 on Ramirez. Already 21 pitches here in the opening inning for Mike Hampton, and he's only recorded 1 out.
Runner on third, scoring easily. Sammy Sosa having to hold up on that ball hit to left field. He'd been off on contact. He's on third base, but because Chipper Jones was close to it, he had to stay at second.
Strike at the knees, 3-1 on Ramirez. Ramirez in his 63 games with Chicago after coming over from the Pirates hit 15 home runs, knocked in 39 runs. Without getting Lofton, Ramirez, and Randall Simon, the Cubs aren't playing here tonight.
Dangerous situation right here.
Tap to the left side. Castillo will go to second. Tries to turn it, not in time.
Ramirez grounding into 21 double plays this year. Terrific defense on the infield by the Braves. Castillo making sure one almost turned by Marcus Giles. Watch a takeout slide by Alou, causing the throw not to be as strong as it normally would. Fine try by Giles.
Now Eric Karros, 6 hits and 12 at bats. Hit a pair of home runs in last night's Chicago loss at Wrigley Field. Line away, ball 1 to Karros. A ball and a strike. Karros spent 12 seasons with the Dodgers and left LA as the all-time Los Angeles Dodger franchise leader in home runs. Duke Snider is the all-time Dodger home run record holder. Ground and foul. Karros got Russ Ortiz to make it a 4-2 game, leading off the 6th inning last night, and then got Will Kinane in the 8th inning. Two and two to Eric Karros. Runners on the corners, 2 away, break-even pitch is in the air and fouled out of play.
That's the one thing Karros has done the last 3 years. He did it the last 2 years with the Dodgers under Jim Tracy. Jim encouraging Eric, that the older you get, the more you have to go the other way, particularly with 2 strikes. You saw him pull the ball foul down the third baseline, trying to go the other way with that fastball.
Runners at first and third, again a 2-2. Hampton thought it was strike 3. He was on his way to the dugout, and Jeffrey Kellogg said, hold on a minute. Bobby Cox and Leo Mazzoni letting Jeffrey Kellogg have it.
I think everybody went for the head fake there. Jeff Kellogg, watch his right shoulder. A momentary budge. Right there. Normally when an umpire will do that, an umpire's got rhythm like that. Looked like he wanted to punch him out, but didn't.
He does punch him out in the 3-2, and that'll end the inning. But the Cubs get a run. A leadoff double by Lofton. Alou knocks him in. Kerry Wood will take the ball, looking for his second win of this series.
We got a situation. What's your 20? I'm there.
Do you have the right truck? Does your truck have a big block Vortec V8 and an Allison transmission? Does it have the most torque of any gas-powered heavy-duty pickup? Silverado. It's the right truck from Chevy. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Inside that flashlight behind the new halogen bulb is something familiar. A battery. And while it may not be the biggest decision of your day, consider this. When the Rocky Mountain Rescue Group needs light to save lives, they trust Duracell. So, whether it's lighting up a mountain rescue or illuminating a world of wizards and hobbits, it just has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Turn up the heat with new Dentyne Fire. This is no ordinary gum. Ruby red shell outside, intensely cinnamon inside. It's new. It's cinnamon. It sizzles. New Dentyne Fire. Spark something.
Heartburn?
Yeah, I tried Pepsid AC, but it takes like 40 minutes to start working.
Tums starts neutralizing acid fast.
I'm taking Prilosec OTC. Read the label. That can take 1 to 4 days to fully kick in.
Delayed release tablet.
Delayed release. Should say delayed relief. Take Tums. Nothing's faster.
It's got the calcium I need.
What more do you want? I want Tums.
Always fast, always calcium, Tums.
26-year-old Grand Prairie, Texas native Kerry Wood set to begin the bottom half of the first inning. Here's the lineup he'll be facing under manager Bobby Cox. Rafael for a call. The shortstop Marcus Giles at second. Gary Sheffield back in the lineup for the first time since getting hit on the hand by Mark Pryor in Game 3. Chipper Jones in left. Javy Lopez catching. Andruw Jones in center. A ladder third of Franco, Castilla, and Hampton.
266 strikeouts, the most in the major leagues this year. His scouting report, an explosive fastball and slider, but his control could be a problem. Durability, no problemo.
First pitch swinging for a call. And a broken bat roller at Grezolana. Zero patience on the very first pitch from Wood by for a call.
I was thinking the same thing. And for a guy like Gary Wood, who has walked 100 batters, third in the National League. Russ Ortiz walked 102. That was the most. But if you're a guy like Rafael Furcal, he's got some power, but you've got to take it early in the count against Kerry Wood, first time through the lineup.
Marcus Giles homered off Kerry Wood in Game 1 into left field. Fastball in there at 97 miles per hour. So the big Texan bringing the heat early.
Grand Prairie heat.
Indeed. And there's that knee-buckling breaking ball of Kerry Wood. If he's throwing that for strikes, it could be a long night for the Atlanta Braves. Two and two. Giles, a .316 hitter during the regular season, 21 home runs, 4 of 10 so far in this series. First strikeout of the night for Kerry Wood.
Overpowering fastball from Wood to get Marcus Giles. This is going to be interesting with Gary Sheffield coming up. Gary swinging. I heard you and Steve Lyons last Tuesday night talking about how Sheffield was swinging so hard he was off balance. And he can do that. What's cooking, folks?
Sheffield playing for the first time since he took this pitch off the hand from Mark Pryor. They feared at first it may have been broken, but x-rays were negative. Sheffield sat out game 4, back in the lineup tonight. Fooled on that slider.
This is bordering on unfair right there.
Oh-2. Threw it again. Sheffield checks his swing. They appeal, and Phil Cuzzy said he didn't go around. Chipper Jones waiting in the on-deck circle, hoping for a first inning at bat. He homered twice in the Atlanta win last night. And Sheffield a base hit in the center field.
That's why that was such an interesting battle. A blistering fastball and blistering bat speed by Sheffield. Right back through the box and hit hard off Wood.
Chipper Jones, we mentioned a pair of home runs at Wrigley Field in game 4 late yesterday afternoon, early last night. And Chipper took over the all-time National League Division Series lead with his 7th and 8th career home runs, breaking the mark at 6 he shared with Ken Caminetti. That fastball at 98 miles per hour from Kerry Wood.
Saw that throw over by Wood. One of the more remarkable statistics in the big leagues this year is that even though Kerry Wood is a power pitcher, only 5 stolen bases against him in 13 tries. Very unusual.
Why?
Reason for that is he throws to first a lot, and the reason it's unusual is because to be a power pitcher and throw a ball 98 miles an hour, you have to have a high leg kick. Wood is so strong, his leg kick isn't as high as most power pitchers, so he gets it home quicker.
Jones, prior to last night's game at Wrigley Field, only had 1 hit in the series through the first 3 games. Takes a breaking ball that got away from Kerry Wood high. 2 balls and a strike. So Chipper Jones batting from the left side is showing some of the patience you talked about that we did not see from the other left-handed batter in the inning for Cole.
Call swinging at the first pitch, but Jones in a good hitting position here.
Fastball to knee, strike 2.
As Chipper takes one right down the pipe. Well, Wood throws enough breaking balls behind in the count that you can't always guess fastball.
Breaking ball, strike 3 called, and Jones has words with Jeff Kellogg. 1 hit, 1 left, 1-0 Cubs.
Hello.
Hey, it's Susie. I'm in the neighborhood. I thought I'd stop by.
I don't know if that's a good idea. My place is kind of,
I've got some Bud Light.
Come on up.
Nice place.
Thanks. I'll put this in the fridge. Make yourself at home.
Okay.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
A bowling ball.
Make it a Bud Light.
It's always been our dream to run a bed and breakfast. Then I had to go on chemo. and it just drained me.
If you're on chemo and feel tired, you may be anemic.
We even talked about canceling our guests.
Talk to your doctor about Procrit for chemotherapy-related anemia in patients with most kinds of cancer. Procrit helps rebuild red blood cells, and more red blood cells can mean more strength.
Here come the meals.
Procrit is proven and safe. In studies, only diarrhea and edema occurred more often with Procrit than placebo.
Here, there's no slowing down.
The world is full of individuals with their own personalities, their own quirks, their own fingerprints. They cannot be put in a box. Why should they drive one? The V6 Nissan Altima.
Burger King introduces the Santa Fe fire-grilled chicken baguette. With only 5 grams of fat, it gets its flavor from fire grilling. You'll think you've dieted and gone to heaven. Come on over. The fire's ready.
Buy it now on DVD.
What do you want?
Dreamcatcher. Buy it now on DVD and video.
Sunday, November 2nd, the fear will be here. It's the most terrifying chase with death you've ever seen. All new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, Sunday, November 2nd on Fox.
I always said I was going to be playing professional baseball. That's all I ever talked about. The thing that means the most to me is I want to be remembered as a Yankee. You either love us or hate us. I enjoy playing at home in front of the greatest fans in the world. And I also enjoy going on the road, people booing us and hating us. The bottom line is when you compete, you want to win. I live for this.
Watch the World Series on Fox beginning October 18th. Don't miss it.
Mike Hampton allowed a run on a couple of hits in the opening inning and trails 1-0 as we open the second. Game 5 of this National League Division Series, and the winner will advance on to the National League Championship Series against the surprising Florida Marlins. Of course, anyone who saw Jack McKeon's team play over the final 4 months of the year would not be surprised. That ball hammered into deep left center field by Gonzalez. Goodbye. Alex Gonzalez, a career-high 20 home runs during the regular season. He got his first hit of this series last night.
Gonzalez, a guy who loves the high fastball that looked like a high slider from Hampton. That ball was hit a ton to center field. That was Socian.
Indeed it was, and this is very much a pitcher's ballpark here at Turner Field.
Trying to go away, just stayed up around the letters. I guess it was a fastball. Hit very hard for the Cubs' second run.
The Sarge, Gary Matthews, a hitting coach under Dusty Baker. Of course, he was on that Chicago Cubs team the last time they had a chance to move on in the postseason. In Game 5, ground ball hit to short. Paul gobbles it up, and Damian Miller retired. That's after the Cubs in 1984, when the National League Championship Series was a best-of-5. The Cubs won the first 2 games against San Diego and then lost 3 consecutive games.
Won the first 2 games at Wrigley Field, and then in Game 5, the error on Leon Durham. Ball hit by Tim Flannery. And San Diego went on to lose to the Detroit Tigers in 5 games in the World Series.
Strike 1 to Kerry Wood. 10 hits and 61 at-bats during the regular season, including 2 home runs. He had a 2-run double in that 4-run 6th inning in Game 1.
Not all balls, Tom, that are hit out of the ballpark are mistakes. But that ball he threw to Gonzalez was a mistake, particularly to that hitter. Alex Gonzalez, a real high ball hitter. Perhaps a guy who likes the high ball more than any other Cub. There's the fastball. Good location from Hampton.
One and two to Kerry Wood. And he's gone on strikes. Third strikeout tonight for Mike Hampton. Well, here is tonight's Sprint Virtual Manager question. Which is worse? The Braves making the playoffs 12 straight years and winning only one championship, or the Cubs not winning a postseason series in 95 years? To answer today's question, use your PCS Vision phone from Sprint or log on to foxsports.com and type in the keyword MLB on Fox. Timmy, I don't know about you. For me, that's an easy one.
Well, I forgot my phone. I was scrambling for my phone to press it in, so I'll let you do it.
I mean, the Braves making the playoffs 12 straight years. I mean, you know, granted, they've won one World Series, but just about any team in baseball would take those 12 straight trips to the postseason.
In a second. They were in 5 World Series in the 90s.
That question for me is a no-brainer.
Everybody keeps going back to only one win. That was 1995. David Justice home run against Tommy Clavin in Game 6 in the parking lot, about 250 feet from here.
High tapper. Castilla in the air. Drills in time to get Lofton. Nice play by Vinny Castilla. Well, the Cubs score for a second straight inning. Gonzalez, his first home run of the series, 2-0 Cubbies.
They said its off-road capabilities verged on overkill. Tow rag. They said others may be as quick, capable, and handle as sharply, but few can match it on all of the above. Tow rag. They said it was everything you could want in a luxury SUV, but for 20 grand less. In fact, the only thing the experts couldn't say was the name. Touareg. Introducing the Touareg, easily named Car and Driver's Best Luxury SUV for 2003.
Introducing Taco Bell's new spicy chicken burrito. It's a little spicy. Taco Bell's new spicy chicken burrito, packed with shredded chicken, simmered in Mexican spices. It's tasty, filling, and only $1.29. To get your fill of this satisfying thrill, think outside the bun.
Program in the first, $4.
Summer wind.
Snacks in the fourth, $25.
From across the sea.
A soda at the end of the seventh, $3.
It lingered there.
Friday night, no TV.
When you work hard to make the best wireless network even better.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Everyone starts to notice. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
The Division Series on Fox, brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By MasterCard, there are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. Welcome back to Turner Field in Atlanta. 2-0 Cubs as we open the bottom half of the second inning. A swing and a miss by Javier Lopez, who broke the all-time single season record this year for home runs by a catcher. 42 of his 43 hit as a catcher. He had one pinch hit home run, breaking the old mark held by one-time Cub who did it as a Met, Todd Hundley. got the record breaker the final weekend. During the final weekend in the history of Veterans Stadium, your old stomping ground, Timmy.
What a memorable Sunday it was a week ago. In closing Veterans Stadium, Steve Carlton simulated his last pitch there as Mike Schmidt simulated and then ran around the bases. And then the phone call for Tug McGraw from the bullpen. What an emotional moment for 60,000 Philly fans.
On the ground is short. Gonzalez will throw out Javier Lopez.
And the Atlanta Braves led the major leagues in comeback wins this year. They came from behind 51 times. However, you don't do it against the likes of Kerry Wood every day. I mean, consider the fact that the starting lineup tonight, including last Tuesday's game, batting 165 against Kerry Wood.
13 hits in 79 at bats. Strike one to Andruw Jones. 277 batted during the regular season, 36 home runs, 116 runs batted in, only 1 of 13 in this division series. Slow roller again to short, and quickly 2 are gone in the Atlanta second inning. Wood throwing strike after strike after strike to begin this ball game here tonight. Julio Franco got his first start of this series yesterday at Wrigley Field. Was on base 4 times, 3 singles, walked, scored a run. And he is playing in place of Robert Fick, who was involved in that controversial play. Reaching up, it appeared intentionally, to try and knock the ball out of the glove of first baseman Eric Karros. And Bobby Cox fined Robert Fick after the game last night for this.
Fined him a rather heavy fine. Bobby Cox did not like it as much as Cub fans didn't like it. Absolutely no call for stuff like that. Taking a guy out at second base, barreling over a catcher when he's blocking home plate, all of those things are legitimate. What Robert Fick did yesterday afternoon at Wrigley Field was not legitimate. No excuses.
Well, now all of a sudden, after throwing nothing but strikes through the first 6 hitters in the batting order, Kerry Wood has fallen behind 3-0 to Julio Franco. And there's ball 4, the first walk tonight issued by Kerry Wood. Robert Fick, by the way, is still hitless in this series. He started the first 3 games at first base, and after his pinch hit appearance yesterday is 0 for 11.
Kerry Wood, first in strikeouts in the National League. Teammate Mark Pryor with 18 wins. He was second in strikeouts.
Breaking ball high to Vinny Castillo.
Kerry Wood 26, Mark Pryor 23. The third youngest tandem to go 1 and 2 as far as strikeouts are concerned. The last to do it, Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax back in 1960.
1-1 to Castillo.
What do you do to honor your teammates? You wear his glove.
Was Pryor something else in game 3? Oh, man. Complete game for Mark Pryor. He would be in line should the Cubs advance on to the next round to pitch game 2. Fastball up and in.
I guess he uses Kerry Wood's glove when he pitches.
Whatever these two guys want to do is okay by Dusty Baker.
You mentioned the Florida Marlins, the last half inning. The Marlins obviously watching this game in unison, we think, from Southern Florida, and they will take a late flight either to Atlanta or Chicago when they find out who wins the game.
Check swing on a breaking ball in the dirt, and Castillo went around. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A tightly wrapped breaking ball evens the count to Castillo. What a year the Florida Marlins have had.
From the middle of May through the end of the season, they had the best record of any team in Major League Baseball. Congratulations to Jack McKeon and that entire franchise. Swing and a miss on a slider. 3 strikeouts in the first 2 innings for Kerry Wood. Sammy coming up in the 3rd. The Cubs lead game 5, 2-0.
My God, look at her. I would be delighted if you'd have dinner. The best divorce lawyer in town. You propose your unoffending wife should be tossed out on her ear. Yeah. Is going up against you, the woman he can't resist. You're just looking for trouble. This Friday.
Just stay strong.
I don't know what to do.
Take a cold shower.
Critics are saying George Clooney and Catherine Zeta-Jones dazzle us with their white-hot chemistry. I'm a sitting duck.
Sitting duck.
Intolerable cruelty. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
I break for yard sales.
I break for animals.
I break for donuts.
Chocolate. My grandkids.
Boys.
I break for little old ladies.
Bingo.
Leprechauns.
UFOs.
I break for free oil changes.
Visit your local Midas mechanic now and get a free oil change with any Midas brake job, including installation of our lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes. That's free oil and filter with any new brakes.
I break for no apparent reason.
Cash or credit? Oh, hey, Yahoo. Oh, making me dizzy. Oh, Bank One. British Airways?
Bank One.
Top of the morning to you. I'm not really British. I sound like it, don't I? Borders. Let me guess. Bank One. Bank One. Bank One. Hey, Helen, another Bank One.
Hundreds of leading names, one you.
This is so you.
Find the card that fits you best.
Cute dog. Oh, you two have the same eyes.
Individual answers. Bank One.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's a new dance floor. A nap with your best friend. It's everything under the sun for everything under your feet. All at the guaranteed low price. And now through November 5th, save 20% on select special order flooring, including wood, laminate, ceramic, tile, and vinyl. Whether you do it yourself or have it installed, nobody covers more floors more stylishly than we do. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
2 families at war.
My business is 100% legal. Let's take him down.
2 lovers caught in the crossfire.
His father is the district attorney. He wants to destroy our family.
In a battle like this,
You cannot see this girl again ever.
everything gets exposed. Skin premieres Monday, October 20th on Fox.
Told you Mike Hampton for the 6th time in his Major League career tonight. The first time, by the way, in the postseason, is coming back on 3 days rest. Bobby Cox did the same thing with Russ Ortiz yesterday. Since 1991, Bobby Cox has brought a starting pitcher back in 19 games on 3 days rest. 6-9 the record for the starters with an ERA of 4.5. The team record is 7-12. And Hampton has fallen behind 2-0 after the first 2 here tonight in Game 5 of this National League Division Series. It'll be Grzelcyk, Sosa, and Alou. Mark struck out his first time up. 1-1.
Even though Mike Hampton has given up a couple of runs, he's the type of pitcher that you want to bring back with 3 days rest, because he's not an overpowering pitcher. He's a pitcher that gets a lot of ground balls. A guy like Kerry Wood, it'd be difficult to bring him back with 3 days rest, or Mark Pryor, Randy Johnson, or Curt Schilling. Even though in the World Series in 2001, what happened? Bob Brenly brought them back on 3 days rest, and Curt Schilling won 3 and Randy Johnson won when they beat the Yankees in the World Series. Good slider from Hampton.
And that still to this day statistically is the best pitch World Series by any team in World Series history.
Remarkable performances by those two pitchers.
1-2 to Gonzalez. Of course, many remember in Game 6, Randy Johnson started that game, got the win, and then came back out of the bullpen in Game 7 and got the win pitching in the 9th. And Arizona rallied to beat Mariano Rivera in the bottom of the 9th.
How many times do you see a starting pitcher get 2 wins in 2 days?
Broken bat flare will fall. A base hit into left center field by Gonzalez. And here comes Sammy Sosa, who's had his fair share of success against Mike Hampton. Turn back the clock. Wrigley Field, July the 11th. Sosa got Hampton not once, but twice. Fast forward to Game 1 of his National League Division Series in the opening inning. And with 2 aboard, Sosa this close to playing long ball to right center. Broken bat, foul ball out of play.
Oh, we know, folks. We know. Come on.
Everybody wants to check the infield.
Oh, come on. Classic.
Of course, for those of you that are not picking up this baseball season until the postseason, Sammy Sosa ejected from the Cubs' June 3rd game against Tampa Bay by Tim McClellan after his shattered bat contained cork. Sosa was suspended and has come back to finish strong and have another outstanding year.
It was almost as though 30,000 people here or so were waiting for that moment. And they got it.
And can you blame them?
No.
What the heck?
It's fun. I mean,
absolutely.
It's fun now, and you laugh about it now, but obviously a serious incident at the time. Sammy came back saying that he thought it was a batting practice bat. That's a story I still do not believe. Plain and simple. Did it hurt his popularity? Obviously not. I don't know what that says, but obviously not. That was hilarious, though. Breaks a bat. 30,000 oohs and ahs.
Jumping to their feet. Check that bat. Sammy should have flexed his arm and just pointed at the bicep. 1-2 the count. Down and in. 2-2 to Sosa. Leadoff man aboard here in the Cub 3rd inning. And the Cubs leading this game 5-2-0. RBI single by Alou in the opening inning. Solo home run by Gonzalez in the second, and Kerry Wood has allowed just 1 base hit. Now tipped into the mid of Lopez for strike 3.
Tightly wrapped slider to get Sosa. Most strikeouts on which a hitter swings and misses are on balls out of the strike zone. Certainly over half. More of a percentage for some guys like Sosa, who's a bad ball swinger. I know it sounds simple, but the reason for that is major league hitters are trained to hit the ball in the strike zone and not out of the strike zone. Certainly they're bad ball hitters, but most swinging strikeouts are on balls out of the strike zone.
1 on, 1 out for Moises Alou. He knocked in the game's first run with a single into left field. That one sails away from Alou, who watched his father's team, Felipe Alou, get eliminated by the team that Moises hopes they'll be playing. And of course, he wore a Florida Marlins uniform the last time they were in the postseason in 1997. Very disappointing finish for the defending National League champion San Francisco Giants. But for those that have not seen much of the Florida Marlins, get ready for the ride starting Tuesday night here on Fox.
So surprising for me concerning the Giants as Alou whiffs at a high changeup. Had I seeded the 8 teams in the postseason before it began last Tuesday, I would have picked the Giants as a #1 seed.
Really?
Jason Schmidt, they lose game 2 after a 4-1 lead. Sidney Ponson losing that lead, and the Giants lost the ball game, and then the Marlins came back and won 2 in a row on their home turf. And here they are in a perfect position of traveling tonight to either Chicago or Atlanta.
Of course, Alou during that 1997 World Series with the Marlins hit 3 home runs. Rezolonic during the regular season only attempted 8 stolen bases. He was successful 6 of the 8.
Fastball away.
Rolled over foul.
He didn't get that one away either. When a pitcher misses that much, it's alarming. You can see how Javy Lopez is sitting outside, and the pitch comes right over the fat part of the plate. If you miss on a pitch like that, particularly when you're ahead, you want to miss away, not toward the middle of the plate for obvious reasons.
One-two to Alou. Down and in, even a count. Alou 3 of 4 in game 4 yesterday. And he has gone swinging his second at bat tonight. 5 strikeouts now for Hampton.
When you think about it, almost all 5 strikeouts from Hampton, not only right-handed batters, but almost all of them have been below the knees, off the plate inside. I don't think any have been strikes.
Take a look at our RadioShack.com trivia question. Who are the only 3 players in Division Series history with 2 career multi-home run games? Give you a little while to think about that. If you've been watching this series, you know 2 of the 3 without even working up a sweat. And perhaps our director, Bill Webb, giving you a little hint. Boy, he's subtle, isn't he?
Yes, indeed.
1-1 on Aramis Ramirez. He bounced into a fielder's choice in the opening inning. Rezolonic at first with 2 away and a 1-1 on the way. Grounded right at Castillo. He'll go the short way, and that'll end the inning. A leadoff single. Rezolonic never moves. Atlanta bats in a third, down a pair.
Unsurpassed engineering, unparalleled technology, champion, Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the world's best shave, guaranteed. Now with a red-hot new look. Test drive one today. Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette.
Spicy garlic shrimp, fire grilled chicken, and our famous baby back ribs. Chili's Fajita Trio. Want more flavor?
Chili's! Yeah.
Coming October 13th on GoArmy.com.
Everyone knows about the fields of Battle Creek, but we've got orchards too, you know. We call them the orchards of Battle Creek. Where else would we grow our apple cinnamon cereal with 2.5 apples worth of real apples in every box? Where else would you find cereal that tastes so appley? Only in a place where appley is considered a real word. Kellogg's Fruit Harvest, now available in apple cinnamon.
Tell me about your dream.
It's like a movie. There's a sword and a stone.
Behold Excalibur.
A magic cost-cutting sword.
A magic cost-cutting sword.
But it's stuck. We can't get it out. What does it mean?
Perhaps there are no more costs to cut. Perhaps you should be
King Arthur?
more productive.
Sorry.
Someone's threatening to initiate an outbreak of a very deadly virus.
To stop a weapon that has no cure,
They found a body that's been infected.
you need a man who knows no limits. Just do it now! The season premiere of 24, Tuesday, October 28th on Fox. Presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150.
Kerry Wood set to begin the bottom half of the third inning, facing Mike Hampton. And it's a strike on the outside corner. Hampton 1 of 2 in game 2 at the plate. Very good hitter, a couple of home runs like Kerry Wood did this season. Been well documented, story well told that Hampton a fabulous athlete. There you get a look at President Jimmy Carter, wife Rosalind.
Up from Plains.
Absolutely. And he's no, Johnny come lately. He is a big baseball fan, big Atlanta Braves fan.
Yeah.
Breaking ball, strike 3 called. 4 strikeouts against the first 9 batters that Wood has faced in the game tonight. Play hits the pros, presented by Chevy Silverado. And face real pitches from today's best hurlers. Log on to foxsports.com. Keyword games. Chevy Silverado, it's the right truck. A good look at Kerry Wood, and good luck trying to hit Kerry Wood and hit the pros.
See what Furcal does here after swinging at the first pitch, his first time up. I would think he's taking.
You're right on the money.
President Carter, talking of President Carter, usually when he comes to a ball game here, he brings his own peanuts. Obviously, a peanut farmer, the Carter family, for years in Plains, Georgia. About, I suppose, what, 140 miles southwest of here.
Still looks great, both of them.
Certainly do.
And he is still very, very sharp. Bouncing ball to Ramirez. He cut it loose, and it's in time to get the speedy for a call. 2 up, 2 down in the Atlanta third inning. Only 1 hit so far for the Braves against Kerry Wood.
Ramirez realizing he has to get rid of this ball quickly. No way to get Furcal unless you do that. Nice play by Ramirez.
Now Marcus Giles with 2 down and nobody on. Slider down and away for ball 1 to Giles.
In the Braves media guide, it says that Marcus Giles is 5'8". I don't think so. More like 5'6" or 7. Has a size 12 foot. That's a big foot for a small guy.
But he plays more like he's 6'7" or 6'8".
Now that's what happens when you're a little brother. Big shoes to fill, right? With
That's
Brian.
right.
Brian now with San Diego, moved as Pittsburgh got rid of a bunch of players, along with Cincinnati this year.
There are a lot of players around baseball. If you watch them play every day throughout the course of an entire season, you may not like them as much at the end of the year as you thought you would going into the season. There are guys that go the other way, and Giles is one of those players. The more you see him, the more you like him.
Yeah, that's well said. What he lacks in stature, he makes up for tenfold in courage, power. Not the fastest of runners. Learning all the time around second base.
In the air, left center field. Playable for Moises Alou, and it's a 1-2-3 third inning for Kerry Wood. We go to the fourth in Game 5 of this division series, and the Cubs with a 2-0 lead.
Three delicious pieces of breast filet with your choice of Heartland Ranch, Deli Honey Mustard, and spicy Southwest Chipotle. When it comes to chicken,
Pet has a better way. Our new homestyle chicken strips. It's better here.
I know what I'm having for lunch.
And remember, you can eat great even late.
Let's say this is your car. Nice hardtop. If you drive safely, meaning you do stuff like obey the speed limit, always check your blind spot, and avoid accidents, hey, watch it, Leadfoot, then Allstate could reward you with something you'll eat right up. Some green. Up to 20% off your insurance bill. It's the Allstate Safe Driver Discount. Call today and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate. Hey, this is for the safe driver. Here you go.
The Division Series on Fox, brought to you by Imitrex. Ask your doctor if Imitrex is right for you. By Intel Centrino.
Your family.
Imagine a day outdoors without the runny nose. Imagine a day indoors without the itchy eyes. Make it happen with Benadryl, the histamine blocker that blocks histamines indoors and out. Get outdoor allergy relief and indoor allergy relief with Benadryl. And for allergies with sinus pain and pressure, there's Benadryl Allergy Sinus Headache. Benadryl's allergy relief plus maximum strength sinus medicine. Imagine life without allergies and sinus pain. Benadryl.
Clean up, aisle 5.
We can't afford all this. Timmy, put that towing package back. Didn't our truck come with shocks?
Not the heavy-duty ones.
What size is this?
16-inch.
Need a price check on the 16-inch alloy.
Cardinals signed Darryl Kyle, disregarding his numbers in Colorado, and the Braves did the same thing with Hampton. Earned run averages for pitchers in Colorado are understandably stratospheric.
2-1 on Gonzalez, who homered his first time up. That one grounded all of the third base. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only the second hit in 9 at-bats in this series for Alex Gonzalez. But he hit that pitch a ton back in the second inning.
He surely did, Tommy. I was going to say about Hampton, it's kind of nice to see him come back and reestablish himself, at least to a degree, of what he was before he went through that time in Colorado, because this is a real gutty guy. I mean, a guy you really want on your ball club, one of the best pitching coaches ever in Leo Mazzoni, working with Mike, trying to get him to forget that experience in Colorado. Terrific field and everything, great fans, but tough to pitch there.
Gone swinging Gonzalez. Let's send it back to Los Angeles for a game break. Here's Jeannie Salasco.
And from the hardball to the pigskin, the battle of the undefeateds in Kansas City. Chiefs and Broncos. Dante Hall stole the show and the record. Hall with an NFL record 4 consecutive games with a return in his last 10 games. He's returned 7 for touchdowns. And oh yeah, the Chiefs edge the Broncos. We return tomorrow night, Game 5 on Fox.
At Game 5 between Boston and Oakland. From Oakland, California, what a pitching matchup in that one tomorrow night. It'll be Pedro Martinez for Boston against Barry Zito of the Athletics. There you get a look at the numbers. Pedro in game 1, a game he should have come away with a win had not the bullpen lost that game in that game 1 marathon in Oakland. And Zito lights out in game 2. Come back into the mound. And Hampton getting stronger after allowing single runs in the first and the second. Only one hit over the last 2, and the heart of the order coming up for Atlanta, down 2.
Now this is big.
Now's the best time to buy wireless phones and accessories during the big sale at Radio Shack.
It's so big, it's
the LG VX6000 camera phone. Take, send, and personalize pictures. Just $149.99 after a $50 Radio Shack mail-in rebate.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
The big sale. Now at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
I got a question for the folks at Radio Shack. Who's in charge of spelling around here?
Mom, can some of the guys come over for pizza?
Sure.
She said yes! Come on!
Whoa, got some big NFL appetites heading your way. Looks like you need the NFL deal from Pizza Hut and Pepsi. Order any large specialty pizza at regular price and you get a medium 1-topping pizza and a 2-liter of Pepsi for just $1.99 more. The NFL deal, a Pizza Hut pizza and a Pepsi for just $1.99 more.
May I have another slice, please?
Oh, Michael, I don't know where you put it.
You can please your crowd every day when you gather around the good stuff.
I really wanted a new TV. You know, one of those big ones. So I turned to my Rent-A-Center again. I love their flexible payment options. That way, I get to pay them when I get paid. And I'll be owning this Philips widescreen in no time. My friends, my stuff, my Rent-A-Center.
Mention this ad and get 1 week free at Rent-A-Center. Call 1-800-205-2005 to connect with the store near you and ask for 1 week free.
That cold's getting worse, Dad.
My nose is running, head's all blocked up. I need my Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Mom? I'll get your Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Only Alka-Seltzer Plus has an effervescent cold-fighting formula to break up nasal congestion and release you from your worst cold symptoms fast.
Feel better?
I do. That's my line. Alka-Seltzer Plus breaks up your worst cold symptoms fast.
Buy it now on DVD. A terrifying force has arrived on Earth. It has the power to assume any human form.
You're not Jonesy.
And destroy all human life. Dreamcatcher. Buy it now on DVD and video.
Monday, October 20th, Fox will introduce a real American cowboy to a group of European women.
Oh, he's good looking.
Tell them he's worth $80 million in oil.
What? I'm sure I'm gonna like this lifestyle.
And invite them to win his heart.
He's rich. He's filthy rich.
Does anyone know how to say sucker in French? The next Joe Millionaire. Diplomats are standing by. Premieres Monday, October 20th on Fox.
Atlanta comes to bat, bottom half of the 4th inning, trailing the Cubs in Game 5 of this National League Division Series 2-0. Sheffield with the only hit against Kerry Wood through the front 3. That was a 2-strike pitch that he hammered into center field. Ball 1 low and in. Ball 1 strike to Sheffield.
Mark Grudzielanek at second base is almost shifted to the left side of second base. It's a quasi shift, but Sheffield with
popped up left side.
So Sheffield can shoot the ball through the other side with consistency.
Time to answer our Radio Shack trivia question. Who are the only 3 players in Division Series history with 2 career multi-home run games? And we told you 2 of them took place in the game yesterday. Chipper Jones for Atlanta. Eric Karros did it for the Cubs last night with the Dodgers in '95, and Bernie Williams in '95 and '96.
I thought Chipper had a wry comment in the Atlanta Constitution today. He said, I'm just Sheffield's expensive bodyguard.
Right. That's a highly paid bodyguard.
Yeah, that's a highly paid bodyguard.
Good work if you can get it.
Price of bodyguards have gone up.
Way up. Like the gross national product of both third world countries. 1-1 to Chipper Jones. Swing and a miss. Good old country Texas hardball right there from Kerry Wood.
Not too many guys are going to get around on a fastball 98 miles an hour around the letters, and Jones didn't.
Two and two.
Kerry Wood really only throws 2 pitches, a fastball and a slider. But his sliders, depending on arm angle, does a lot of things. It goes down like that. It goes toward a left-handed batter, sliding in like normal sliders do. But even though he calls this a slider, this is more of a curveball. So even though it's 1 pitch, it serves as several.
They all pitch to Chipper. Tardy on a fastball. Timmy, I would imagine that when this guy is cutting it loose out there on the mound and you're the hitter in the box, it must be right on you right now. It is rare you'll see Chipper Jones in a fastball count be tardy on a fastball.
That's true.
And there's a slider on a 3-2 pitch. And it's a 5th strikeout of the game for Kerry Wood.
I'll say that last pitch is what makes Chipper Jones tardy on a fastball, because you can't look for the fastball all the time. Because even though this is a fastball situation, he gets the breaking ball, but he's on top of it a little bit more, causing that downward action.
Two down, and Javier Lopez digs in. He bounced out to short his first time up. First pitch swinging, and he too is tardy on a Kerry Wood fastball. 0-1 to Lopez. Down the left field line, it'll go to the wall. Lopez making a turn, and here comes a throw to second. Not going to be in time. A 2-out double. Second hit tonight for Atlanta against Kerry Wood.
There's an Atlanta Brave that gets around on a Kerry Wood fastball. The ball may have been in off the plate, right on the hands. That's a good piece of hitting by Javy Lopez. First extra base hit of the ball game for the Braves.
Tying run comes to the plate. Andruw Jones hit 36 home runs during the regular season, 1 of 14 in this division series. Fastball upstairs. Lopez in scoring position with 2 away. Fastball swung on and missed. Oh.
Man. That is a big challenge to try to make Wood get the fastball down in the strike zone. You can't hit it up there.
Jones waits, 1-1 on the way. And a fastball again up high, and Andruw stays away from it. Julio Franco in the on-deck circle. First time in a game tonight that Atlanta's put a runner in scoring position against Kerry Wood. He's allowed 2 hits, walked 1, fanned 5. Breaking ball down and away, 3-1. You know, Timmy, you look at the season numbers in the career of a guy like Jones, and you would think, well, there's nothing wrong with walking him and then moving on to Franco. But certain Julio has fewer holes in his swing, if you will, than Jones.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't think this is anywhere near a pitch-around situation.
Well, he came right after it. 3-1 fastball and said try to hit it if you can, and Jones late.
Well, if you throw the 3-1 fastball for a strike and you get the foul ball or you get a strike, now it's time to come back with a breaking ball.
Runners this season in scoring position, and Kerry Wood limited the opposing hitters to a 157 batting average. And he just blew away Andruw Jones on a high heat.
Wow.
6 strikeouts for Kerry Wood. We're back after a break from your local Fox station. It's 2-0 Chicago.
Eliza Dushku has found her calling.
Inspired, creative, vibrant, unique. The wealth of decorating choices available at Arizona Tile Company goes not only above and beyond the floor, but above and beyond the ordinary. From Italy, Mexico, Spain, England, Germany, and the United States come Arizona Tile's exclusively original tile designs. Each choice is a work of art and uniquely yours. Arizona Tile, off Veterans Parkway on Mathers Road in Springfield.
When Monica crashes a family bash.
I'm a relative and I didn't get invited. A blood relative. Blood.
Stop saying blood to strangers.
It's not a warm reception.
Surprised to see me? Monica.
But nothing heats things up.
Why wouldn't you want me at your wedding? What could I have possibly done?
Like an old flame.
Stuart, I believe you know my husband.
So it's really a question of who could you have possibly done?
That's Friday 6 on WCCU, Fox 27. Cubs bat against Mike Hampton, top half of the 5th inning. First pitch swing, Kerry Wood, a roller out for a call. 1 away. We invite you to join us tomorrow as baseball's postseason continues on Fox. Another Game 5. The Oakland Athletics jumped out over Boston 2-0. The Red Sox winning a pair of games at Fenway Park. So tomorrow night we're in Oakland. Pedro Martinez and Barry Zito will lock up. The road to the World Series continues. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox.
I was just thinking, Tommy, that Kerry Wood was just thrown out by a guy with the second best arm on the field, Rafael Furcal.
Kerry knows who's number 1 on that list. Call going to get another chance to show off that arm. Of course, the one guy I always think of, Timmy, in more recent memory, Sean Dunston, a long-time Chicago Cubs shortstop.
Sean Dunston stands out as a shortstop with perhaps a better arm than Furcal.
Yes. Sean could turn it loose.
I mean, that's saying something.
Yeah.
You can say that. I mean, that young man right there has a cannon.
A lot of times that statistic errors can be quite misleading. Furcal had over 30 during the year, but you wouldn't find a manager in all of baseball that wouldn't take him right now. And I mean take him for his glove, not only his back.
And his legs. Pretty good package right there.
1-1 on Bresolani. And Hampton in the air to get it. 9 consecutive batters retired by Mike Hampton. But his offense has been shut down through the front 4 by Kerry Wood. Atlanta looks to change that as we go to the last of the 5th.
I was working in the garage and I smelled smoke.
Come on in, Derek.
Derek, I thought we had this thing worked out. I hear you're out dancing, eating, and just carousing with your friends. Is it true you're going out every night?
Absolutely not.
Good.
If you want to enjoy the New York nightlife, bring your Visa card, because Orso, Cheetah, and the Broom Street Bar don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Hey, Derek, we are running late. Sorry.
You live a lot of your life between 0 and 55. No one understands that like your State Farm agent. That's why more people insure their cars with us than anyone else. Because we think car insurance should be as much about you as it is about your car.
The newly redesigned 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix. With 260 horsepower to help you get the most out of your ride. And OnStar stolen vehicle tracking to help you get your ride back. Fuel for the soul.
The summer's biggest sensation, the OC, returns Wednesday, October 29th.
Atlanta bats last of the 5th inning, trailing Kerry Wood and the Cubs 2-0. Franco Castilla and then Mike Hampton due up for the Braves. A 2-out single by Sheffield in the first, a 2-out double by Lopez in the 4th, and that's been it for the Atlanta Braves tonight, outside of a 2-out walk to Franco back in the 2nd inning.
Watching the game yesterday, I thought you and Steve Lyons did a very good job with Julio Franco, how he points the bat toward the pitcher and almost has to hit the ball to right field, particularly against a hard thrower like Kerry Wood.
Shoots that ball into right center field, and Lofton will go get it. Hard hit ball by Franco, but allowed out.
That's the only ball that he will come close to pulling, is a breaking ball that's down. But you can see how far he has to go with that bat. And when he makes contact, it's not out in front. It rarely is. It's over the plate and not out in front of the plate. Yesterday he had 3 hits, 2 to right field. The only one he hit down the left field line was on a ball down and in, an off-speed pitch. The speed of the pitch often will allow the bat head to come through the strike zone.
Up and in, ball 1 to Vinny Castillo, struck out swinging, ending the 2nd inning. Kerry Wood's wife, Sarah. The two were engaged on Valentine's Day 2002 and then married in Hawaii in November of that same year. And Kerry gives her all the credit for improving dramatically his conditioning program. She watches over him like a hawk. You may remember when he came up in '98, there was a lot of baby fat on that body of Kerry Wood. Very little of that now. Those pictures of her during game 1. Unbridled joy.
Classic.
She was like a little girl that night as Kerry Wood was pitching so well, and then when he had that 2-run double, it really was nice. She looks a little more calm, although now beginning to gnaw on those nails a bit. 2-2 on Vinny Castillo.
Well, and only his 5th major league start. Kerry Wood and that baby fat struck out 20 Houston Astros. Only the 2nd guy in major league history to strike out that many in one game. Roger Clemens has done it twice. Kerry Woods once. Good.
Lined into left field and caught. So a couple of hard hit balls in this inning by Franco and Castillo. So for the first time, really, back-to-back hitters have squared up on a Kerry Wood pitch.
I would like to correct myself. Randy Johnson also struck out 20 in a game.
Well, there was, of course, debate about that because that did not end the game, the 9 innings. That game went on to be played in extra innings, and the powers that be of Major League Baseball had to decide whether or not that would fit into the same category of Wood and Clemens. That was that 2001 season when Randy Johnson struck out 20 Cincinnati Reds.
When you think about it, it shouldn't go against the pitcher because he has struck out 20 through his 9 innings. Has nothing to do with what the offense has done.
0-2 to Hampton, who struck out in the 3rd inning. Wood trying to set down the side in order for the 2nd time tonight, and does. 5 innings of 2 hits, shutout baseball for Kerry Wood. His wife stands and applauds. 2-0 Chicago.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International Overnight Ground. Synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Now this is big.
Now's the best time to buy wireless phones and accessories during the big sale at Radio Shack.
It's so big, it's
the LG VX6000 camera phone. Take, send, and personalize pictures. Just $149.99 after a $50 Radio Shack mail-in rebate.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
The big sale. Now at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
I got a question for the folks at Radio Shack. Who's in charge of spelling around here?
When you were young,
you'll find yourself.
you'd go outside and play in the mud.
Follow your heart.
Guess some things never change. Head for the mountains of Bush.
Well, that's the last of it.
The original rugged Nissan Pathfinder, and coming soon, the new full-size Pathfinder Armada. Two Pathfinders, countless adventures.
The Division Series on Fox is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you? Game 5 of this National League Division Series. The winner will advance on to the National League Championship Series, which will begin on Tuesday night, either here at Turner Field in Atlanta or at Wrigley Field in Chicago. And the Florida Marlins will provide the opposition. Ball 1 to Sammy Sosa. Sosa 3 of 14 in the series, 0 for 1 tonight. Has walked and struck out. Tell you, Mike Hampton putting together a pretty solid game after allowing a run in the opening inning and then the solo home run to Gonzalez in the 2nd. He's retired 9 in a row and 12 of the last 13 since the Gonzalez home run.
It's a similar game that Hampton pitched in game 2 of this series. He gave up 2 runs in the 1st inning, then shut the Cubs down. Tonight he's given up 2 runs in the first 2 innings and shut the Cubs down.
Alou to follow, and then Aramis Ramirez.
Slider. A cut fastball. You notice that Hampton had one of the only balls he's elevated tonight is the home run hit by Gonzalez. Everything else has been mid-thigh high and down. There's a fastball away right here.
Sammy fouls it away, full count.
Yeah, the deception with Hampton is his movement of the ball outside and inside to right-handers. But from a playing standpoint, he has elevated few balls tonight. See where Javy goes here. Slider.
And again, it dives out of the strike zone, and Sosa comes up empty.
Almost every strikeout for Hampton tonight has been in that area. Sosa going down on a ball out of the strike zone. Let's take a look at the 7 strikeouts of Hampton out of the strike zone. Etc. 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 See? Out of the strike. Etc. I'm running out of etc.
You're not lying.
Last one, Sammy Sosa. Joe Brenner would be proud.
Indeed. Oh, 0-1 on Moises Alou. And now Hampton ahead 0-2. 10 in a row set down by Hampton. He allowed a leadoff double to the very first batter of the game, Kenny Lofton. Allowed a run-scoring single to Alou.
I think it came up and hit Moises on the right forearm, perhaps, or the right wrist.
Over the mound, and Giles will turn it loose, but not going to be in time. That ball just died after it got over Hampton's head, and Alou with his second hit.
You will see a lot of pitchers try to jump for a ball like that. Hampton started and then said, the only thing I can do is mess this up. If Kyle or Giles can't make the play, it won't be made, and they didn't.
Take a look at our in-game box score for the Cubs, brought to you by Moises Lofton. That double to lead off the ball game, scored on a single by Alou, who has 2 hits, and Gonzalez, a solo home run to straightaway center field, leading off the second inning. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Cubs. They've left 3 men on base. No runs, 2 hits for Atlanta. And the Braves have stranded 3 against Kerry Wood. Ball 1 away to Aramis Ramirez.
You don't see a pitcher often restrain himself from jumping like Hampton did. He wanted to, but said, no. And an infield hit for Alou.
In the air, deep left center field. Jones will watch him go. 4-0 Chicago. There are thousands of Cub fans at Turner Field tonight. They've waited 95 years for a celebration. Hampton only allowed 14 home runs in 190 innings during the regular season. He has allowed 2 in 5 1/3 tonight.
Ramirez extending his arms. Again, we talked about it a couple of innings ago. When a catcher is sitting outside and he has to move to his left, that spells trouble, particularly with a guy as strong as Ramirez.
Through the years, we've talked a great deal about John Sherholtz, the general manager, and the job he's done here in Atlanta. Jim Hendry cannot be overlooked what he has done in Chicago. The offseason deal which brought Karros and Grzelcyk from the Dodgers and that Todd Hundley, really an exchange of big salary players in the final years of contracts. On the ground at third, and Castillo throws out Karros. And then, of course, during this season, pulling the trigger after Corey Patterson went down to bring in a leadoff hitter and a center fielder in Lofton. In the same deal, they got Ramirez. And then later went knocking on the Pirate door again and found another Pirate treasure in Randall Simon.
And also overseeing the development, too, of young pitchers like Pryor and Wood and Zambrano. You mentioned Corey Patterson. What a player he's going to be. Out for half the season with a meniscus injury. That's the, as you said, the reason they had to go out and get Kenny Lofton.
Borowski, the right-hander, Ray King, the southpaw, getting loose in the Atlanta bullpen. 4-0 Braves here in the 6th inning. And the Cub fans that are here tonight starting to smell it. There's a long way to go. But as we mentioned, they've waited a long time. Fly ball, short left field. Jones broke back. Recovers in time to get it. And that'll end the inning. A one-out infield hit by Alou. Forced Hampton into the stretch. And then Ramirez touches them all.
Land Courier, Air Courier, Pedicure, Reader.
$137.
2 printers, 2 scanners, 2 tutus.
$540. Keeping business expenses separate from personal expenses? Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Apply online for the MasterCard business card.
Center field is definitely my home. And I'm always ready to hit that wall. Sometimes I hit the wall so hard, it rattles my brain. But I'd rather rob a home run than hit a home run any day of the week. Just to see the expression on their face, that's the best feeling ever. I live for this.
Watch the World Series on Fox beginning October 18th. Don't miss it.
Big inning for Atlanta, trailing 4-0, top of the order against Kerry Wood. And for a call, takes low and away, ball 1, 0 for 2 as Rafi's grounded to second, bounced to third. Got to wonder if the night is over for Mike Hampton. Activity continues in the Atlanta bullpen.
Burkall will take another one here with the count 2-0, and the Braves down by 4. But you saw him move up in the box like he'll do. He'll slap that ball over the drawn-in third baseman occasionally. Won't do it there. He'll take twice now. 3-0 and 3-1 if that happens.
Giles to follow, and then Gary Sheffield. Bobby Cox's Braves down 4-0 to Dusty Baker and the Giants. And there is a borderline strike. Maybe a little up in the zone, but 3-1 on for a call.
By taking 3-1 right now, the Braves need base runners, but you make Kerry Wood throw 2 strikes.
Which he does not do. Major League Baseball is giving away World Series tickets for life and other great prizes. Winning hologram numbers will be announced during games 1 through 4 of the World Series here on Fox. Visit your neighborhood Radio Shack store for your chance to win. That is indeed the ultimate pass. And a free pass for Rafael for a call to open up the Atlanta 6th inning.
Burkall taking the approach at last at bat that we suggested Burkall take earlier in the ball game. This is what happens to Kerry Wood. You have to make him throw a lot of pitches. He has had 13 games this year in which he has thrown over 120 pitches. 13.
And now 2-0 on Marcus Giles. Damian Miller will come out, and Larry Rothschild former manager in Tampa Bay. And boy, he is a solid pitching coach as well. We've talked about Leo Mazzoni.
Outstanding.
Larry's done an excellent job with predominantly a very young Chicago Cubs staff this year.
This is one of the problems with wildness when you have a 4-run lead, too. The situation appears to be worse than it is. That's what's caused by wildness. If a guy got a couple of hits, you're saying, well, he's throwing okay. At least he's putting the ball over the plate.
Right.
But now you walk a hitter and you throw 2 balls on the next one, and the situation appears to be worse than it is. And that's why Rothschild went out to say, hey, Kerry, you got a 4-run lead. Throw a strike here. You reestablish everything.
Throws a strike on the outside corner, knee high, 2-1 to Marcus Giles. Giles has struck out and popped up to Alou and left. Fastball at 95, swung on and missed.
95 right on the outside corner. That's a tough combo right there.
Foul out of play. Kerry Wood has broken the Cubs postseason series strikeout mark with 18 of them so far in his 2 starts in this series. That mark formerly held by none other than Hippo Vaughn, who struck out 17 in the postseason in the 1918 World Series. Lined in the left center field, a base hit, and here come the Braves with 2 on and nobody out. And the heart of the order coming up. An Atlanta offense that led the National League in batting average, home runs, and runs scored. And Sarah Wood knows all of those numbers.
I question this call, and the reason is there were 6 fastballs in a row. The more you tend to throw a hitter, I mean, you can't forget the breaking ball with Kerry Wood. We mentioned he has 2 pitches. Even though you have a 4-run lead, you don't want to fall back into that pattern of throwing only fastballs. He threw 6 in a row to Giles, and the 6th one was a line drive on the end of it.
You think that's because he was trying to reestablish himself after the wildness?
He'd already done that with the 2 strikes. Now he throws the breaking ball.
And it's called a strike, and Sheffield doesn't like it.
You throw ball 1, ball 2, and now the pitching coach comes out, Larry Rothschild. Now you throw fastball, strike 1, fastball, strike 2. Now you're back in the groove. Now you go back to the normal stuff that got you to the 6th inning.
Check swing on another breaking ball. And it's 0-2 to Sheffield. Back-to-back breaking balls after the 6 straight fastballs.
And Gary couldn't hold up. Missed that ball by about 1.5 feet.
Remember now, Sheffield on a 2-strike count, singled back in the 1st inning. And does so. Did he make the play in center? No, it's a base hit, and scoring from second base is for a call. They're saying the ball was trapped by Lofton. He will argue. And the runner at first base, Giles, stopped. And he said he was looking at the umpire who signaled catch was made in short right.
Sheffield, meanwhile, passed him. So either Sheffield or Giles are out. One of the 2, maybe both. They got the force play at second base, and I think Dusty Baker is saying that with the force play, Sheffield passed him. That's a double play. It's an odd double play, but it could be scored 8-6-3 because Sheffield passed Marcus Giles.
And Lofton livid because he believes he caught the ball.
But he's arguing about the wrong thing. Give him a run and take 2 outs. On second thought, did he catch the ball first of all? Yes. That call made by left field umpire Dale Scott. That could have been a triple play easily. That's a catch. There was leather between the ball and the ground. Furcal scores because the left field umpire said he didn't catch the ball. Giles, meanwhile, is looking at the right field umpire, but you can see right there, Sheffield is past him. To me, that's a double play. And Sheffield's already passed him. So Giles is out on the force play. Sheffield is out for passing the runner. That's what I would argue if I were Dusty Baker. There's no way Sheffield can be on first base. I mean,
so this thing has been fouled up 2 different ways.
I think so. I mean, it could be a triple play. Lofton, number 1, catches the ball. And then if he throws to second to get Furcal, and Giles, the reason he was loitering around first base was the throw behind him. Otherwise, it is a triple play. But how can they allow Sheffield to have passed the runner? Because when you pass a runner, you're automatically out. And he certainly passed Giles. Unless the force play was made
before he passed him.
Before he passed him. I guess that's what the umpires are saying. But Giles retreating, Sheffield going past him.
Right there, he's by him when the ball was caught at the second base bag for the force out.
So I think he was by him. I think he was by him enough to say that's a double play. It seems as though, now here's Sheffield right here, passing Giles. Sheffield is automatically out. Giles is out on the force play at second. Somebody's got to tell us why Sheffield wasn't called out on that play.
So the Braves get not only 1 break, perhaps a pair to keep this inning alive. 1 run home. It's a 4-1 Chicago lead. Sheffield the runner at first, and Chipper Jones the batter, who struck out looking and swinging.
We are seeing some of the most unusual base running I have seen. How about the Boston-Oakland game? 2 days in a row, Boston and Oakland had one debacle after another. Jason Varitek in the rundown play. Interference called on Eric Chavez.
Chipper did not go around 3-2.
And then Eric Burns trying to score on Jason Varitek. Varitek blocking him off. Burns going halfway back to the screen. Varitek tagging him. Unbelievable.
Well, Timmy, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you pass a runner when you hit a grand slam?
I've been waiting for you to say that. Yes, I know exactly how that feels. If they call me out 27 years ago, they're going to call Sheffield.
Slow roller left side. They get 1. And they get 2. So they get a double play. Kerry Wood still barking about that call in center. A wild bottom of the 6th. Atlanta gets a run. We're back after a break from your local Fox station.
This fall, that 70 show will send you reeling.
Want to see something hot? Watch me drink raw eggs.
You're allergic to eggs.
My eyes feel tight. Do I look okay? Holy God!
That 70 show, the season premiere, Wednesday, October 29th on Fox.
The boss comes over to me and says, "Hey, Ray, new guy gets lunch." So I get my pickup truck, drive down the road. I see Hardee's. I figure, hey, a burger's a burger. Pick some stuff up and get back to the job. Right off the bat, all the guys are like, "Oh, Hardee's, we don't eat Hardee's." Well, everybody starts eating it, gets real quiet, and the boss looks over at me and says, "Ray?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Well, you're getting lunch all week."
The 3rd-pound mushroom and Swiss thick burger with Angus beef. It's how the last place you'd go for a burger will become the first.
share of what's inside. Introducing Taco Bell's new spicy chicken burrito. It's a little spicy. Taco Bell's new spicy chicken burrito, packed with shredded chicken, simmered in Mexican spices. It's tasty, filling, and only $1.29. To get your fill of this satisfying thrill, think outside the bun.
4-1 ball game. Cubs in front as we open the 7th inning. Tapper off the bat of Damian Miller down to Vinny Castilla. And Miller retired on the first pitch from Hampton here in the 7th. Hopefully Jim McKeon, one of the supervisors of the umpiring crew here tonight and in Major League Baseball. Hopefully he'll be able to stop up to the booth, Timmy, and tell us a little bit about that zany play in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
You know, the more we think about it, Tom, we were talking about it between innings, perhaps in the judgment of the umpires, the forced play at second base was called before Gary Sheffield passed Marcus Giles. I guess that's the reason they allowed Sheffield to stay at first base.
Which would be the right call.
Yeah, absolutely. If the forced play was made before Sheffield passed Giles, if, however, the forced play was made as we thought it was on the replay after Sheffield passed Giles, it seems to me that the forced play hadn't been made yet, so therefore Sheffield's automatically out, and Giles is out also because of the forced play.
And then, of course, Chipper Jones promptly bounced into a double play to end the inning.
Right. So it makes the point moot. But still, I'm interested in Jim McKeon clearing it up for us.
1-2 to Kerry Wood. Down and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 7th inning in this National League Division Series Game 5. The winner will roll on to the National League Championship Series, which will begin either here in Atlanta or in Chicago on Tuesday night. We'll have it for you right here on Fox. Castilla throws out Kerry Wood, 2 away. Let's check in with Jeannie Zelasco at our Fox Television Center.
Well, as we speak, the A's and the Red Sox are flying the friendly skies because of this. David Ortiz broke out of an 0-for-16 slump with a 2-run double and 2 outs in the 8th to give the Red Sox the win and send them to a Game 5 tomorrow night on Fox. Yes, baseball's postseason continues on Fox with a decisive Game 5 between the Red Sox and the A's as the scene shifts back to the Bay Area. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox.
And it should be noted that Brady Little gave the ball to Scott Williamson, the former Cincinnati Red National League Rookie of the Year, and he had a very impressive 9th inning.
After a struggle during the regular season establishing himself in Boston, and here's Kenny Lofton, who was the most right on that play. I mean, he was right because he did make the catch. As we said, that could have turned into a triple play had the throwing behind for Call and then behind Giles at first base.
Well, that's one of the toughest calls an umpire has to make.
True.
That sinking liner, a guy comes sliding in.
That's why in the postseason, baseball has 6 umpires instead of 4 to prevent something like that from happening, because the outfield umpires have the better angle. But on that one, they didn't get it right.
Bruce Fleming, the closest to the play. The crew chief, tonight's second base umpire.
Closest to the play, but his angle wasn't as good as the left and right field umpire.
2-2 to Lofton. Left field umpire Dale Scott. Gary Cederstrom, the right field umpire. Base hit into right field. Tell you one thing, though, Tim, the umpiring throughout this entire postseason has been mighty good.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Kenny Lofton, a 2-out single. We're in the top half of the 7th inning, Game 5. National League Division Series. The Chicago Cubs trying to win their first postseason series since they won their last World Series in 1908. Bobby Cox going to come get Mike Hampton. A good effort tonight by Hampton, but Kerry Wood has been sensational.
Now this is big.
Now's the best time to buy wireless phones and accessories during the big sale at Radio Shack.
It's so big, it's
the LG VX6000 camera phone. Take, send, and personalize pictures. Just $149.99 after a $50 Radio Shack mail-in rebate.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
The big sale. Now at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
I got a question for the folks at Radio Shack. Who's in charge of spelling around here?
I break for yard sales.
I break for animals.
I break for donuts.
Chocolate.
My grandkids.
Boys.
I break for little old ladies.
Bingo.
Leprechauns.
UFOs.
I break for free oil changes.
Visit your local Midas mechanic now and get a free oil change with any Midas brake job, including installation of our lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes. That's free oil and filter with any new brakes.
I break for no apparent reason.
I'm loving it. Great moments happen fast. 1 minute you're on top, but how long will it last? I'm loving it. So I'm trying to buy. Me and the lady should give it a test drive. I'm loving it. My thinking's far from average. Shopping carts just like a horse and carriage. I'm loving it. It's the real McCoy. It's the taste I was raised on from a little boy.
McDonald's. I'm loving it. These are the days you might fill with laughter until you break.
Mike Hampton coming back on 3 days rest after pitching so well in Game 2 of this series. Allows 7 hits so far, 4 runs. Lofton his responsibility at first. And now taking over on the mound, has pitched in every game now of this National League Division Series, Kevin Grabowski.
Numbers on Grabowski, and once Bobby Cox removes the left-hander and brings the right-hander in, it's going to be easier for Lofton to run on the right-handed Grabowski.
Lofton 30 stolen bases during the regular year, was only thrown out 9 times.
He's really the only bona fide base stealer for the Cubs. They have some pretty good base runners, but he is a base stealer.
Lofton 539 career stolen bases. Second highest among all active players, behind the one, the only Ricky Henderson.
Everybody's going to be behind Ricky
yes,
for
indeed.
a long time in that category.
0-2. It's really been hit or miss with this entire Atlanta Braves bullpen this season, after having the best bullpen in all of baseball last year. But it's been completely overhauled this year. Smoltz about the only sure thing down there. They pitch out. Runner goes. Throw to second. In time to cut down Lofton, and Bobby Cox guesses right. They stand and stretch in Atlanta. Andruw Jones and company coming up, down 3.
Wireless troubles?
My phone works here, not there. Same with voicemail, email.
Sprint is different. All your services work the same wherever you go on the most complete, all-digital, advanced wireless network in the nation. And all the calls are clear.
So everything works.
And this will never happen again.
PCS from Sprint. Try the nation's most complete wireless network.
Oh, check this out. Dumb dog. So predictable. Domino's Philly cheesesteak pizza.
No drooling this time.
Guys like Philly cheesesteak, guys like Domino's pizza. That's why Domino's created the new Philly cheesesteak pizza. Get a medium for only $9.99 and any second medium for just $5 more. Get the door. It's Domino's new Philly cheesesteak pizza.
Let's say this is you. Yeah, you're the king. But being the king isn't always easy. So, when you're with Allstate, you'll have over 50,000 professionals to help protect you. From claims adjusters who can help you fix a broken castle, to emergency assistants to ride to your rescue, to lawyers that go to court with you if you need them, and your Allstate agent who knows the moves to help you. Helping you, the king, feel protected. Just one more way you're in good hands with Allstate.
Will find her true calling. Thursdays, Fox Fall.
The Division Series on Fox is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. There's a chance before this night is over that Bud Light might break an all-time sales record in the history of Chicago if this game keeps going like it's going right now. And you can mark that down. On the ground, down to third. And Lopez thrown out by Ramirez.
The umpires between innings, that's Dale Scott, third base umpire Hunter Wintelstedt, and Bruce Frimming. And that was Bruce in the foreground there making that call after the left field umpire, at least that's the one I saw, for Kyle scores on the play because the ball was deemed a short hop, that it hit the ground before Lofton caught it.
Well, you're right, though, Timmy. That had triple play written all over.
Yeah. If the catch is made, the throw to second is an easy double play, and it's just a matter of throwing behind Giles at first, and that's what Giles was arguing about.
Broken back, grounder to Gonzalez, who bobbles and throws, and Carroll's kept the toe on the bag.
Good recovery by Alex Gonzalez. The ball is hitting him in the heel of the glove, and then kind of rolling up the torso and bouncing back to Gonzalez.
Lady Luck.
Lady Luck is right. Well, when a guy hits a ball that hard to a left side of the infielder, he does have a chance to bobble the ball because the ball was hit so hard.
Franco arguably has had the best at-bats of the game tonight against Kerry Wood. He doesn't have a hit to show for it, but he drew a walk back in the second inning and lined out hard to Lofton in center field in the fifth. Franco's had the best at-bats of any Brave the last two games. I know Chipper hit 2 home runs in the ball game yesterday, but Franco yesterday had 3 hits and a walk. But the story so far, again, the 26-year-old Texan, Kerry Wood. trying to win his second game of this series, and for a second time do it in dominant, overpowering fashion. Wood has thrown 100 pitches in the game. And here comes 101. Fastball up and in to even the count on Franco. Kerry Wood, the 1998 National League Rookie of the Year, as Jarrett Wright gets loose in the Atlanta bullpen. Timmy mentioned on the 6th of May in 1998, Wood struck out the 20 Houston Astros. But then at the end of the year, his elbow began to bother him. He pitched 5 innings of Game 3 in that 3-game sweep by the Braves of that division series. And that ball laced into right center field, and it will go to the wall. And Julio into second base with a 2-out double.
The last time up, he hit it to center field, but it wasn't hit as hard as this one. This ball down and over the middle of the plate, rocketed to right center field.
Kerry Wood wound up finishing that 1998 season in a great deal of pain. Well, there's a reason why. He had to undergo Tommy John surgery and miss the entire 1999 season. Came back in 2000 to win 8 games, a 12-game winner in 01. 12-game winner again last season, and a career high 14 wins this year.
And one of the reasons for that operation, when you have a devastating breaking ball like this, it's got to put so much pressure on that elbow. And that was where the operation was performed, but he came back better than he was before.
Yep. Got away with maybe a hanger right there to Castillo. I can't remember him hanging another breaking ball in this entire game.
His hangers are thrown so hard. That's a big difference. There are hangers, and then there are hangers. His hangers are not like most hangers.
Yeah, they generally hang you out to dry. 0-2 on Castillo. Remlinger, the left-hander. And look here, Tim. Kyle Farnsworth throwing in the Cub bullpen. Dusty Baker wasn't sure whether Farnsworth would be able to go after injuring his knee and leaving the game last night. Off the glove of Gonzalez, rolls right at Grzelcyk. We talked about Lady Luck. Well, luck be a lady tonight for Kerry Wood and the Cubs. We march on to the 8th inning. The Cubs lead 4-1.
Luck be a Cubby tonight.
Introducing Wendy's Homestyle Chicken Strips.
Heaven, I'm in heaven.
3 delicious pieces of breast fillet with your choice of Heartland Ranch, Deli Honey Mustard, and spicy Southwest Chipotle. When it comes to chicken strips, Wendy's has a better way. Our new Homestyle Chicken Strips. It's better here.
I know what I'm having for lunch.
And remember, you can eat great even late.
Beautiful. Why did Car and Driver name it Best Luxury SUV for 2003? Well, there's this. 4X Motion all-wheel drive. Beautiful. Touareg, the Volkswagen that does what other Volkswagens don't.
Turn up the heat with new Dentyne Fire. This is no ordinary gum. Ruby red shell outside, intensely cinnamon inside. It's new. It's cinnamon. It sizzles. New Dentyne Fire. Spark something.
For name brand lighting, you'll feel right at home at Lowe's.
I'm looking for light for my foyer.
And it's got to be special.
Exactly.
Lowe's has the brand name, styles, and finishes.
Like that.
The kind you'd expect at a lighting showroom, including the Kitzler line, even ceiling fans. And Lowe's has low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise.
That must have blown your budget.
Nope.
Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Now spend $200 or more on Kitzler lights. Get a $25 gift card free.
I just want to run away.
I do. I'd go anywhere with you.
His father is the district attorney.
He wants to ruin our family. He wants to destroy my business.
Can you imagine what will happen if the press gets a hold of this? They would ruin me. They would ruin you.
Why does it matter who our parents are? You tell your son to keep his filthy hands off my daughter.
Every politician needs a target.
You cannot see this girl again ever.
The rich man's dead. What have I done?
I love you.
I love you too.
Skin, a new series, premieres Monday, October 20th on Fox.
Kerry Wood talking things over with his battery mate Damian Miller. A 4-1 Chicago lead, and kind enough to join us, we mentioned it earlier, Jim McKeon, supervisor of Major League umpires, to talk about that wild play we saw on the sinking liner into center field off the bat of Gary Sheffield. Walk us through that play a little bit and exactly what the umpires are looking for and the call that they then have to make.
Well, the situation was the call they made was no catch. Obviously, with Giles on first base and Sheffield's a hitter. So therefore, the ball is alive and in play, which means Marcus Giles can go to second base, Sheffield can come to first base, and it stands. If Gary Sheffield passes Giles on the bases, then obviously the force out comes up. Giles does not have to run because Sheffield is out passing before the force out is made. And that's basically what it is. It's a little confusing, but that's really what it is.
So if it's deemed that Gary Sheffield passes the runner before the force out at second base, then Giles simply goes back to first.
Right.
And Sheffield is out, not Giles.
Absolutely.
Well, that explains it. Beautiful. Fly ball in the right field by Mark Resolana.
Here it is right here. Forget whether the call was a catch or no catch. We're not talking about that.
Right.
But Sheffield going, it appeared right there that Sheffield may have passed the runner before the force out was made. But once the force out is made, then Giles and not Sheffield should have occupied first.
Absolutely.
I see.
That's what it is.
So either way you look at it, there's going to be a man on first base.
Right. Right.
Sammy Sosa, the batter. 0-1 to Sosa, who has walked, struck out twice. The Cubs 6 outs away from winning their first postseason series in 95 years. And no, Tim McCarver did not broadcast that 1908 World Series. You've done every one of them in the last 100 years, it seems like. Lucky you, 2-1 to Sammy.
Well, let's see. Theodore Roosevelt was president that year. All right.
There have been 17 United States presidents since then,
including one here in the stands tonight.
Indeed. Ground ball to short. And the current president of the United States, George W. Bush, of course, a big baseball fan, former managing partner, owner of the Texas Rangers, and a very close friend, as we talked about during the game last night, of none other than Julio Franco.
Yeah. Great story that was.
Yeah, the George Bush and his wife, along with the twin daughters, came to Julio's wedding. And Julio was asked the question, well, you know, do you have his phone number? Do you call him W? He said, that information is classified. But he considers the president to be a good friend. Will Canane getting loose in the Atlanta bullpen. Jim, we want to certainly thank you for taking the time to get away from your seats and watching the ball game and evaluating and supervising the umpires tonight to explain that ruling to all the folks watching at home and to us here in the booth.
Great, Tom. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You've seen a lot of wild plays in your day.
Oh, I sure have. Sure have.
Timmy was talking about the play again in Boston last night.
Right. I was in Chicago with this series, so I didn't really get a chance to see it until I got to the hotel. And by the time I saw it, of course, everything was done. But it was, we've had some plays. You know, it's amazing. You see baseball and you move along, and I had 30 years of it in the big leagues. And every day something else happens.
Yep.
You know, it's something new in baseball. That's what's so great about the game.
Jim, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
The McKeon supervisor of umpires here tonight, and we certainly thank him for his time for coming up and to bring us up to speed. And again, you know, we're not up here to ask Jim McKeon, for those of you wondering, you know, and Timmy, you brought it up. We're not going to ask him about a call that's made on the field that he has nothing to do with. And whether or not Lofton made the catch. And our fabulous crew here bringing you those gorgeous pictures that clearly show Lofton did catch the ball.
It makes so much sense, and I didn't know that. I thought that once Sheffield passed the runner, not only, well, of course, there it shows that Lofton caught the ball, and we weren't talking to Jim McKeon about that. But again, once Sheffield passes Giles, in the opinion of the umpire, then Sheffield is out, but Giles is free to come back to first base. He is no longer a forced player at second. They didn't call it that way. They called him out as the forced player at second base, contending it was nolo contendere as far as Sheffield passing Giles. It was not the issue.
2 down in the inning, 3-2 to Moises Alou. Swing and a miss. 1-2-3 for Jared Wright. Bottom of the 8th inning in Atlanta. 4-1 Chicago.
What life strips away. The 245 horsepower V6 Nissan Altima quickly restores.
Come on in, Derek. Derek, I thought we had this thing worked out. I hear you're out dancing, eating, and just carousing with your friends. Is it true you're going out every night?
Absolutely not.
Good.
If you want to enjoy the New York nightlife, bring your Visa card, because Orso, Cheetah, and the Broom Street Bar don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Hey, Derek, we are running late. Sorry.
Introducing Taco Bell's new spicy chicken burrito. Packed with shredded chicken, simmered in Mexican spices, loads of seasoned rice, and zesty fiesta salsa. It's a little spicy. Taco Bell's new spicy chicken burrito, just $1.29. To get your fill of this satisfying thrill, think outside the bun.
My brother Danny and me, for as long as I can remember, we've been competitive about everything. He got a new truck, I got a bigger one. I've got a family, he's got a bigger one. That's the way it's always been. Then my doctor tells me to start taking an aspirin every day for my heart. Just one St. Joseph aspirin. It's smaller than a regular aspirin, but he says that's all I need. So maybe bigger isn't always better. Try telling him that.
St. Joseph aspirin. Trust it with all your heart.
The Division Series on Fox is brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By St. Joseph aspirin. Trust it with all your heart. By Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by Taco Bell, where you can spice up the night. The Atlanta offense looking for a little spice against Kerry Wood, trailing 4-1, bottom of the 8th inning. And Mark DeRosa will bat for Jared Wright. DeRosa, when he's had a chance to play, has had a solid series. 3 of 6, a couple of doubles, a couple of runs batted in. He had that 8th inning, 2-out, 2-run double in game 2 that proved to be the game-winning hit. Farnsworth ready in the Chicago bullpen. That's nice to see that he's all right.
It was such an odd play he had to make on the bunt by Robert Fick yesterday.
Fly ball short right field. Late break by Sosa, but Grzelcyk out to get it. Here's a play we were talking about from last night. Robert Fick pinch hitting in the 8th inning. The first batter that Kyle Farnsworth faced slipped, threw from his knees, and then jammed his right knee in the ground when he fell to the ground and actually lost feeling in that knee.
From his knee to his ankle, Dusty Baker said he had no feeling last night. That feeling has returned. Kerry Wood hopeful that he doesn't have that feeling of being removed from the game tonight.
The Atlanta Braves are down to their final 5 outs. And Kerry Wood, the 0-1 to Furcal, lays down the bunt, and this is a hit all the way.
Damian Miller appeared to be taken back by that bunt. You really have nothing to lose with nobody on base. You can cheat toward the fair part of the field. If you think he's going to bunt, go up with him. Damon back on his heels. No play.
Take a look at our Nissan game summary. Again, the story has been Kerry Wood. Hampton with a solid outing. But Gonzalez and Ramirez touched him up for home runs. The big one, that Ramirez 2-run home run in the 6th. It was a 2-0 game at the time. But the Atlanta Braves, we told you, they led the major leagues in come from behind wins. Marcus Giles, a batter. Fouled out of play, and Kerry Wood ahead 0-2.
After 6 straight fastballs, the 6th one on which Giles got a hit his last at bat. 2 breaking balls from Kerry Wood this at bat.
Wood struck out 7 batters in the first 5 innings. He has not struck out a batter since.
Nor has Kerry had a lot of fly ball outs, and often that's the sign of a power pitcher too. You start getting ground ball outs when you're a power pitcher like Kerry Wood, that could indicate a little off the breaking ball, a little off the fastball.
Fly ball, straightaway center field, playable for Lofton, who will wave off Sosa. 2 away. The last time the Cubs won a game in postseason play facing elimination is when the Cubs beat the Detroit Tigers 8-7 at Wrigley Field in Game 6 of a 1945 World Series. Now Sheffield, 1 of 3. Down low, ball 1.
I'd say, I think a mixture of people saying, let's go Brubs or Craves.
Well, now you're starting to hear either Kerry or Gary. You decide. Sharply grounded at Gonzalez. Kerry Wood and the Chicago Cubs are 3 outs away from advancing to the National League Championship Series.
Gina, check this out. I'm sitting next to your new boyfriend. Don't you just love your new boyfriend?
I do love him.
As long as you're happy.
Picture mail that talks from Sprint. At Sprint stores, choose from a wide selection of picture phones starting at $99.99. Share it when it happens.
boss expects a report in 1 hour. But it's a gorgeous 74 degrees outside. So, you handle it like a true professional. With a laptop powered by Centrino, Intel's mobile technology, you can work wirelessly in thousands of places, even Bryant Park, under your favorite tree. Intel Centrino mobile technology.
Hey, which never-ending pasta you guys get?
Penne with Alfredo sauce. Spaghetti with the meat sauce. Fettuccine with pesto.
You guys play tennis today?
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl, just $7.95. Pick one combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Have all you want. Wonderful.
Let's see, I bought yellow pencils, yellow Post-it notes, yellow boxers. Yellow boxers.
$14.
Land courier, air courier, pedicure, reader.
$137.
2 printers, 2 scanners, 2 tutus.
$540. Keeping business expenses separate from personal expenses? Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Apply online for the MasterCard business card.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International Overnight Ground. Synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Cubs come to bat. Top half of the 9th inning with a 4-1 lead. The series tied at 2 games apiece, and on to pitch for Atlanta. Right-hander Will Kinane.
Will, in yesterday's ball game, he pitched a scoreless inning. We'll try to hold things down for the Braves so they can mount an effort in the bottom half of the 9th inning.
Popped up by Ramirez in the short center field, and Giles out to get it. Kerry Wood grew up in Irving, Texas with his father Gary, his mother Terry, his brother Donnie. Big Texas Rangers fans. His father was his son's Little League baseball coach and said that Kerry was usually the smallest kid on the team. He was never the best pitcher on the team. Kerry recalled later that he was the little shortstop who slapped at the ball and tried to beat it out. He could run, he said, back in those days. But you could always see the exceptional athletic ability of Kerry Wood. In fact, a week after his dad showed him how Nolan Ryan gripped a curveball, Kerry started throwing it in high school, and, well, you know the rest of the story.
Well, his delivery resembles Roger Clemens and not Nolan Ryan. A great leg movement. Roger Clemens winning for the Yankees yesterday as the Yankees clinched in Minnesota this afternoon.
Backhanded by Castillo, long throw, and Franco dropped the ball. Barros reaches safely with 1 away here in the 9th.
Sometimes you put your foot on the bag too soon and you get locked. And that appeared to have happened to Franco then. It may be an error on third baseman Vinny Castilla, but that's a ball that Franco usually sucks up.
Our All-State good hands defensive play of the game. That sharp grounder off the glove of Gonzalez. Ricocheted right at Grzelcyk. Final out of the inning. Still waiting on a scoring decision on that play a moment ago. Kerry Wood not much worried about that. He has his eye on the bottom half of the 9th inning, and it is a throwing error on Vinny Castilla. Ground out of play. 2-1 to Alex Gonzalez.
This is a running situation right here. You have the combination of Gonzalez, a contact hitter. You don't have speed on at first base, but that's not a consideration. What is that the pitcher is in the hole, Kerry Wood. It's doubtful Dusty Baker will pinch hit for him. So why not send the runner, get a runner on at third base so you can score on something other than a hit? We'll see what Dusty Baker does. Nope.
That is a fair ball down a left field line. Making a turn on his way to third is Karros, and Gonzalez will stop with a single. And the Cubs with runners on the corners and only one out, leading by 3 here in the top of the ninth.
Now, I know Dusty Baker is not a proponent of the squeeze play. Why? Because he was an outfielder and such a good hitter. A lot of times good hitting outfielders don't like to squeeze in one run. But this is an ideal situation. You have a double play man at the plate. And again, Kerry Wood is on deck, or should be on deck.
Oh, he'll be on deck.
I mean, he's not out there.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But Damian Miller's a good bunter. So we'll see what Dusty Baker tries to do right here. 3 ground outs. He's a double play candidate.
And how about this? Kerry Wood will not come into the on-deck circle. Boy, that is a shocker to me, Timmy. I don't know about you.
Well, Kerry might still be in the game. He may be having a regular player out there on the on-deck circle to tell the runner what to do in case he tries to score. Just because you're on the on-deck circle doesn't mean you're out of the game. I'm guessing that might be it. Perhaps.
Damian Miller waits. And he looks at strike 1 on the outside corner.
I would be very surprised if Wood comes out of the game. But most pitchers don't know base running situations. So you want a base runner, and Tom Goodwin's one of the best out there to tell the runner what to do in case he tries to score.
Right down the gut, a fastball for strike 2.
Scratch all that squeeze talk. Unless it goes to 3-2, and then that could get it going again.
Runners on the corners with 1 away in the Chicago 9th inning. And here's strike 3 called. Damian Miller looked at 3 straight strikes in that at bat with a runner at third and only 1 out. And Goodwin is going to bat for Kerry Wood.
I guess Kyle Farnsworth is all right to close this game, or Joe Borowski. Again, Kerry Wood had 13 120 plus pitch games this year, and 1 last Tuesday. But Tom Goodwin, who could be dangerous because of his speed, with 2 out.
What an effort tonight by Kerry Wood. Again, second time in this series. In game 1, 7 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, struck out 11, gave up 2 runs. You see 117 pitches tonight. 5 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. The 7 strikeouts came in the first 5 innings. 1-1 on Goodwin. And I can promise you, so many of those die-hard Cub fans sitting and watching at home right now saying, why is Kerry Wood out of this game? But those are the reasons why they brought Dusty Baker here from San Francisco, to get this team into the postseason. And once they got to the postseason, try to win in the postseason.
I tell you, it's not clear cut. Not the way Wood has been throwing. Because he is dealing with an inconsistent bullpen without a dominant stopper.
into right field by Goodwin, a base hit. Scoring is Eric Karros. On to third, Gonzalez. And on to second goes Goodwin with a big pinch hit, run scoring double, and the lead swells to 4. Dusty knew what he was doing all along.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A collective exhale for all of those folks in Chicago you were talking about. Terrific hitting by Goodwin down the right field line. Karros scores easily. You can see Wendell Kim in the background. And had there been a momentary bobble in right field by Sheffield, then Gonzalez would have been sent home.
Canane is out, and Bobby Cox will go to his bullpen. Chicago leading in the 9th inning, 5-1.
When you're redoing your bathroom, you'll feel right at home at Lowe's.
Look at it all. There's so much to choose from.
Well, I'll make it easy. Only Lowe's has genuine Jacuzzi brand tubs, toilets, and sinks in stock. And to enhance them, we stock the largest selection of name brand faucets, including Delta and Moan. And Lowe's has low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 6 months on jacuzzi product purchases of $2.99 or more.
You know, some interesting facts about Delaware, guys. It was the first state to ratify the Constitution. Thank you, forefathers. Man, am I glad we wrote that thing up. Each article, I mean, we'll cover all the articles, but North Carolina, horse population of 220,000. A lot of hoofs, too, almost 1 million. A lot of hay. You know, what is hay exactly? Is it wheat? I dated a girl named Georgia. Had to break
For when you need it most, our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever.
After that, I told myself,
do you have the bunny
I
inside?
am not dating girls named after states.
I bought a toothbrush, some toothpaste, a flannel for my face, pajamas, a hairbrush, new shoes, and a case. I said to my reflection, let's get out of this place. Tempted by the fruit of another, tempted, but the truth is discovered.
In my dream, I'm in a museum.
Executivus obsoletus.
Executivus obsoletus.
He's extinct.
I'm extinct.
His inability to adapt to the rapidly changing business climate proved his downfall.
What does it mean?
You need to adapt fast or perish.
Perish?
Or be acquired.
I'd rather perish.
Let's go see the woolly mammoth.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Well, Tim McCarver, I think we finally have found out the reason why Kerry Wood is out of this game. Mark Pryor came over and said, hey, big fella, I want my glove back right now. Runners at second and third, and Kenny Lofton, the batter, against the new Atlanta pitcher, Ray King.
You've used it for 8 innings. I want it back. Ray King with a tendency to get wild. And this, by no means, wrapping up things for the Cubs because they still have the bottom of the 9th. And King will try to restore order here for 1 out.
Throw to the backstop. Here comes a runner. Throw to the plate. King the tag and out at the plate. Short amount of distance between the plate and the backstop, much like old Fulton County Stadium. A ricochet to Lopez. King got to the plate, tagged him out.
Some way to restore order.
And the Cubs 79-2, leading at the end of 8.
I'd made a promise to Janie. Her new bike had to be ready. But my migraine just wouldn't go away. That's when I knew I had to talk to my doctor about my migraines. She prescribed Imitrex.
Prescription Imitrex targets your total migraine. Pain, nausea, sensitivity to light and sound. Some pain relievers are made for general kinds of pain. Imitrex is targeted. It was the first medicine of its kind, believed to target the nerves and blood vessels that trigger migraine without drowsiness.
Imitrex is not right for everyone or every migraine. If you have certain types of heart or blood vessel disease or uncontrolled blood pressure, you shouldn't take Imitrex. Very rarely, certain people, even some without heart disease, have had serious heart-related problems. So talk to your doctor, especially if you have risk factors for heart disease such as smoking, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, or if you're pregnant, nursing, or taking medication.
I don't know why I waited so long. Ask your doctor about Imitrex. Target your total migraine and get back to your life.
Wow. Somebody's letting go today.
It's okay. I had Subway for lunch.
Subway, delicious low-fat sandwiches, so you can feel good about being good and okay about being bad.
It's okay. I had Subway.
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
On the road and stuck trying to get business email in all the wrong places? Get Verizon Wireless Email Access and your data will travel on America's most reliable wireless network.
Can you hear me now? Good.
For all your company's wireless needs, we mean business. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Well, how did you vote in our Sprint Virtual Manager question? Which is worse, the Braves making the playoffs 12 straight years, winning only one World Series title, or the Cubs not winning a postseason series for 95 years, and by far the Cubs 0 for 95. The last time the Chicago Cubs won a postseason series was 1908. And now they'll hand the ball to Joe Borowski in a non-save situation. The Cubs in front as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, leading 5-1. The Cubs got back to the World Series in 1910. They lost to the Athletics 4-1. In 1918, the Red Sox beat the Cubs 4-2. The Red Sox were led by a pitcher named Babe Ruth. 1929, the A's again got the Cubs 4-1 in that 29 World Series. That ball hammered into right center field by Chipper Jones. Sammy at the wall, got it.
Luck be a Cubby tonight, says Sammy Sosa. A ball that on most days is gone. Stays in the ballpark and caught by Sosa.
In 1932, the Cubs lost to the Yankees 4-0 in the World Series. Game 3 played at Wrigley Field and featured Babe Ruth's supposed called shot in the 5th inning of that game. In 35, they lost the World Series to the Tigers. In 38, to the Yankees. In 45, they lost in 7 games to the Tigers. In 84, they made their postseason appearance for the first time since 1945. Got up 2-0 to San Diego in the LCS in the best-of-5. And then lost 3 in a row in San Diego. In 89, it was Will Clark and the Giants outslugging Mark Grace and the Cubs 5-1. And then in 98, they got to the postseason. And unlike this year's team, when they made it 98, you never felt they had a legitimate chance to beat Atlanta that year.
No. But with this young pitching, a legitimate chance to beat anybody.
We talked about it in Game 1. To truly appreciate, or I think understand, the plight of a Chicago Cub fan, you probably had to spend a summer in Chicago, maybe a year or two, or just grow up living anywhere, growing up and rooting for the Chicago Cubs to understand what these moments right now are like for lifelong Chicago Cub fans. They are without a doubt the most loyal. They've remained so eternally optimistic. Swing and a miss by Javier Lopez. And now the Cubs are an out away. They support their team whether they win or oftentimes lose. And of course, that phrase they've been saying since 1908, wait till next year. Well, this year may be their year. You know, Timmy, the one guy that I think of first and foremost who's not here tonight is Ron Santo. Of course, one of the all-time greats at third base, who's sitting back in his Chicago home watching the game tonight. He's had both legs amputated due to his bout with diabetes the last couple of years. 0-2 to Jones. Ron having further health complications and was unable to make the trip here tonight. And I can promise you there is no man who is happier at this moment in time than Ron Santo. He embodies everything there is about being a Cub fan. Lost his first leg 2 winters ago, a second leg last year, and never missed a day of work this season. Optimistic, grinding it out, looking ahead and not behind. And now a chance to experience something not done since 1908. You've waited 95 years, Chicago. It's time to celebrate. The Chicago Cubs advance to the National League Championship Series. Sarah Wood undoubtedly will celebrate with her husband, who more than likely has to be the MVP of this series, going 2-0. 15 in the third innings, allowed 3 runs, struck out 19 batters.
The Florida Marlins are on their way to Chicago, and so are the Cubs. And our congratulations to Dusty Baker, who brought a new kind of attitude to the Chicago area, and it's worked.
Kerry Wood, the Cubs' #1 pick back in June of 1995 out of Grand Prairie, Texas High School. The National League's Rookie of the Year, missed a season with Tommy John elbow surgery. They brought Dusty Baker to get rid of that lovable loser's tag. Great stuff. Celebration is on in the Cubs dugout here at Turner Field, and it is big league on in Chicago. So the Cubs will have home field advantage in that National League Championship Series against the Florida Marlins.
Here is a team that, of the 8 teams originally in the playoffs, have won the fewest games. Only 88 wins on the year. And they beat the Atlanta Braves in 5.
There you get a look at the neighborhood.
Wrigleyville.
Wrigleyville.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. Whether you're talking about Murphy's Bleachers or the Cubby Bear or Birdie's or any place you can think of all over that city, all over the state, and in regions all over the world, they celebrate this Cub win. Let's go downstairs and hear from Sammy Sosa. Sammy, thanks so much for joining us. Any way to put into words your feelings right now as your team wins this postseason series?
It's unbelievable. I remember in '98 that, the Atlanta have a chance to sweep off over there, but now, it's our chances. That was a good battle, but we never give up. Kerry Lee Wood was tremendous today. The whole team is absolutely, very happy, and we got to move to the next step.
Sammy, I know you are happy you're playing behind these young pitchers instead of trying to face them, right?
No question about it. I mean, you know, it's when you got a pitcher like that, like Kerry Lee Wood in the mound, and Mark Pryor and Zambrano, you don't need to score 20 runs. You know, I think they've been doing the job, and especially myself, I'm playing with my heart for those players, so I want to be there every moment.
You know, Sammy, we asked you the other day about a season for you that certainly had its proverbial trials and tribulations. You talked about it openly and honestly, and you said, you know what, we still came out on top. You came out on top. Has this season been at the same time a difficult season and the best season at the same time, all in one year?
For me, everything that I've been through is one of the great seasons that I've ever had in my career, because all the things that happened to me is that my teammates, the team, supporting me 100%. Now, we come another way. It's awesome. I mean, and we're not going to stop here. I know that, we got some few more steps to go. But right now, I attribute everything to Dusty Baker and the whole team. We've been great, and, we know what we got, and we never panic.
Well, Sammy, we thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Congratulations, and we'll see you on Tuesday night.
Thank you. Take care.
Sammy Sosa and the rest of the Cub Nation celebrating this first postseason series win since 1908. Talking about a team that lost 95 games a season ago. One of only 3 teams since 1900 to lose more than 90 games, come back, and win a division title the following year.
And Dusty Baker with a chance, a long way to go, but a chance to go to the World Series for the second consecutive year with 2 different teams. Dusty, that's remarkable.
Well, it is remarkable, and these guys are remarkable. I mean, they played their butts off. They believed in the coaches, they believed in themselves, and the organization believed in us. And I tell you, boys, this is unbelievable. Yeah, it is remarkable. And when the year started, we just said, hey, man, no matter what happened in the past, we got to leave it in the past. And this is a new year. People talked about 69, 84, and 89, but we didn't care anything about that. This is 2003, and I just gotta commend these guys and thank God for everything that's happened so far.
Dusty, you generally will not take the credit when certainly credit is deserved, but was it tougher than maybe you even imagined to try to get people to believe that the Chicago Cubs actually could get it turned around and win?
Well, it was tough in the beginning, because you hear a lot of negatives, and the people had reason to be negative. It's been a long time they've had something to be positive about, and I don't know. I just prayed a lot and just asked the Lord to change the mindset of people, and just change the mindset of the organization and the team, and quite frankly, we didn't think we were going to get it done quite this quickly. And I'm just thankful that we did. And now we got 2 more steps to go in a 4-step process, and those tough Marlins are waiting in front of us. But boy, to come down here and beat these Braves in Atlanta, well, that's a wonderful feat.
Well, Dusty, you and your players have certainly changed that mindset.
Yeah, well, we tried to. I mean, you can tell how many fans are out here. And I mean, the Cubs are here, and I'm just hoping that we start this run, the same run that the Braves have for the last 12 years, and start the pitching, and our pitching was outstanding in this series.
Dusty, thank you for your time. Congratulations. Okay. Enjoy the night.
All right, thank you.
The Cubs march on where they'll face the Florida Marlins. They beat the Marlins 4 of the 6 games they played this season, and all the meetings came after Jack McKeon took over. Well, the party is on in Chicago. The coordinating producer of Major League Baseball on Fox is Michael Weissman. The producer of tonight's game, Carol Langley. Our director, Bill Well. The associate director, Aaron Stoikoff. Our broadcast associate, Eric Billickmeyer. Our technical producer, David Hill. The studio show produced by Gary Lang, directed by Bob Levy. The coordinating producer of the studio show, Scott Ackerson. And the studio technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers are David Hill and Ed Gore. For Tim McCarver and our entire crew, Timmy, I enjoyed it, my friend.
Me too, Tom.
Good luck the next round in the World Series.
Thank you, sir.
Jeannie Zelasco, Kevin Kennedy will be along in the Fox Television Center with some final thoughts. Coming up after these messages, congratulations to the Chicago Cubs. We'll have them in the Florida Marlins Game 1 of the National League Championship Series on Tuesday night.
From the moment they met.
Oh, but madness is breaking out around
this wasn't even a home game. I have no idea if you're talking to me or not, so I'll send it back to you guys in the studio. Reporting live, Judy Garcia, WGN News.
You know what's pretty funny about all of this is it looks like Wrigley Field just spilled out onto the streets. Wrigley Field was closed. That was from all of the bars, from all of the neighborhoods. Everybody just seemed to converge right there at Addison and Clark.
Came out of nowhere. It's, you know, all of a sudden it's just instant fans.
I guess I won't take Addison home tonight. I'm going to go around that thing.
And then imagine over there at Turner Field, 10,000 to 20,000 fans. All of those people, well worth the drive, 12-hour drive, and of course a much shorter flight, but well worth it.
Yeah, it's only the divisional series too. I mean, they have 2 more series left. If they win the next one, then they go to the World Series. So there could be 2 more. Hopefully there will be 2 more of these things at least, so we'll go through it and celebrating this wonderful Cubs season. And these fans are very happy. Of course, waiting a long time for this. This is in Atlanta now. We're down south again, and I guess a lot of Cubs fans made the
Don't you love that
there.
sign? Yeah. Welcome to Wrigley South. How often have we seen
the
that?
Braves were upset. They were upset. Some of the Braves players were upset that there were so many Cub fans down there. And they didn't sell the place out for their own fans, so the Cub fans came down there and made a lot of noise. The Cubs came up. You heard the chants and everything. So,
and back to Wrigley Field we go, and it certainly
the crowd
looks
gets
like,
larger and larger.
Yeah, tens of thousands of fans out there.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and show you some more. Who knows how big the crowd will be by the time we get back, so don't go away.
Best hitting team in the National League, the Braves did. And so when you have the best hitting team in the National League, there's an old adage in baseball, it's a cliche, but a lot of cliches are true, and that is good pitching stops good hitting, and that was certainly the case in this series. The Braves' bats never could awake. They were hitting 191 before the last game. We're about 227 coming into this game, and they're lower than that tonight. I think Kerry Wood gave up just 4 or 5 hits in the game, so their average was around 200 for the series. This is a team that had 283 during the regular season, so the Cubs pitching stopped them cold in their tracks. There's some big power hitters in that team that never got going.
The Braves have it. I mean, the Braves have the power bats, and they just couldn't launch them.
Well, they couldn't launch them, and we're going to launch ourselves back down to Atlanta now because Randy Salino's standing by again with, I guess, with more fans down there, Cubs fans who made the trip to Atlanta. Randy, it's all yours.
Unbelievable, Rich. The Cub fans that drove down here all night to get here for this game, and it certainly paid off. This fella here lives in Atlanta, but he's a Cubs fan. What's it like tonight?
It was well worth it. It was great to come out. The place was packed with Cubs fans. Yeah! It was awesome, baby. Go Cubbies!
What was it like sitting in the stands among all these Braves fans?
The Braves fans didn't say anything. All the Cubs fans were standing up. The Cubs fans were cheering. The Braves fans sat down, and they left early too. They don't care at all.
Okay, hang on. Put your sign down. I imagine as a Cub fan, you've been waiting a long time for this.
A long time, all my life. And we were here for my nephew's wedding, and it could have been perfect. They went 5, and we got to come to see them beat the Braves.
Okay. What'd you think as you were sitting there watching this game unfold?
I was surprised how many Cub fans were here. It's just like Wrigley in the South. The Cub fans support the Cubs all the way. We're going to go all the way, too.
Okay, who's going to Florida now? Ready? Road trip. All right. That's what I thought. Okay. I don't know what the sign says. Somebody's fan club. Let's throw it back to you guys there. These fans are going to hang out a long time tonight. I got that feeling.
It looks like we got Dusty Baker.
Well, he's standing by. I'll momentarily go to Dusty Baker and his comments. Okay, right now I understand Dusty's ready at the podium, so it's Dusty Baker, Cub skipper.
I'm just, happy for everybody, the Cubs organization, and all the players, the people of Chicago, and I'm really happy for Billy Williams and Ernie Banks, and especially Ron Santo, because he couldn't be here. And boy, this is like never imagined this was going to happen in year number 1, but I mean, I'll take it, and I'm quietly subdued and happy, and want to go back to the World Series again.
When you took over this job, did you think you could have the team in this situation this fast?
Well, I really didn't know. I mean, I didn't know what. I know we had some good arms. I know we had some good arms in the organization. We had Sammy Sosa, Moises Alou, if we could keep him healthy all year, and we had some quality players. And when the season starts, everybody starts off, even. And I mean, to say I knew this, no, I didn't. I had no idea. We were just trying to play, good ball, fundamental ball, and just, the power of belief, and just try to change a lot of the attitudes of everybody about the Cubs, including ourselves.
Is it possible, since you've only been there a short time, for you to comprehend what this means to the Chicago fans to win a postseason series?
Well, not yet. I mean, you probably won't comprehend it until we get home. Probably, really don't have any idea. Like I said, I'm a new guy in town, and I'm starting to comprehend it when I hear the fans out there and the amount of fans that we had, in the stands every game that we came, to Atlanta. And I just got to, thank God for, putting me in the situation to make me choose Chicago. And I'm just forever grateful and thankful to, to all my players and everybody. And I don't know, probably won't comprehend it until I get home and see my wife and my son.
Okay, that's manager Dusty Baker, and that's kind of a shot of the Wrigley Field area where the Cub fans are gathering tonight. I tell you, what a celebration going on. Dusty Baker did a sensational job. His forte is motivating players. He's a great handler of players. The players loved him in San Francisco. When he came here, all the players loved him in Chicago, and that's, I guess, his magic. There's a magic about the man that is intangible. He just motivates guys. Strategy-wise, you can argue back and forth about that, but as far as a motivator, there's none better than Dusty Baker, and he came in here, and I think he didn't say so, but I got the impression he was thinking that maybe he had a schedule for what he thought might happen here in Chicago.
Well, it's already broken out in the locker room, as we can see pictures there. The traditional champagne shower taking place.
You've been in one of those, haven't you?
Oh boy, I sure have. And
That's listening to Sammy Sosa. I think he's speaking.
Have a chance, to win everything. That's awesome. I mean,
Kerry Wood today was spectacular. I mean, he pitched 8 innings. They could get nothing from him at all, and Kerry Wood carried you guys to victory today.
I told Kerry Wood before he won over
The microphone in there for Mark Pryor. Okay.
You looking forward to going home in that outfit? Yeah, I mean, it was a great series. I mean, we knew we were going to have to go through, everybody's got to go through Atlanta. And, it was a lot of fun. They played great baseball. I felt like we played great baseball, and it's going to be a lot of fun playing Florida again. He's been phenomenal down stretch for us. I mean, he's come up huge, big games, and he's always here for us. So, I mean, he's the leader of this team and this staff. And, when he goes, we go. So it's fitting that he was out there for us tonight.
How far can you all go?
I don't know. What is this, on tape delay here? I don't know. I mean, we're going to go as far as we can go. I mean, Florida's got a great team. So they've been playing extremely well down the stretch. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, it's going to be another great series. And, hopefully it doesn't go to Game 7, but I can see it going to Game 7.
What do you guys say to everybody back in Chicago right now?
We're coming home on Tuesday. We'll be there.
Yeah,
I'm out again.
Mark Pryor won Game 2 with that brilliant 2-hitter going all the way. Gave up 1 run. The Cubs turned the thing around there. Yeah. So I tell you, Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood, you have 1 or 2 pitches like that. It's hard to lose a series. Not that you can't, but they're certainly dominant. There's again the Cub fans at Wrigley Field. Okay, Dan Roan is now inside the locker. We understand back to Atlanta, and Dan Roan, Lofton.
The latter part of September, he's been pitching well, and he just kept it going. And he's the guy who's been doing it down. He's been shutting these guys down.
He just sprayed us down with that bottle of champagne. What do you think of what's going on back here behind?
Man, it's awesome. These fans come out all the way from Chicago, and I think they drove, I don't know how many hours to get here, but they got here, and they showed their support. But I can't wait to get back to Chicago.
Well, you got the Marlins next, but one more thing. You caught that ball, didn't you?
Yeah, I caught it. But, I can't make the call.
and it means absolutely nothing at this point. Hey, congratulations, man. Beat the Marlins.
All right, thanks a lot.
Kenny Lofton here on the field with thousands of Cub fans back behind him, getting a little bit of a taste of that champagne. Kenny sprayed him down, got a little bit on us too, I think, and gotta tell you, it feels pretty good having worked in Chicago for 20 years and never having seen them win anything outside of a wild card spot and a couple of division championships. This is the first time since 1908 the Cubs have won a postseason series, and they are moving on to the NLCS to take on Florida. Right now, let's throw it back to the studio. We'll have much more from the TED in a little bit.
Yeah, well, just amazing. I mean, the first time in 95.
Well, Mark Pryor was right. The Marlins will be tough. You know, personally, the Giants, but people thought, well, they're favorites, but the Florida Marlins can really throw some pitchers at you also, and they're a tough team. They're a hot team going in, but I think the Cubs could handle them. Obviously, they'll be the favorite. They have the home field advantage in this thing, so a lot going for the Cubs in this series. They should win it. I'm not saying they'll be the underdogs, but they'll be a tough team, Florida.
Okay, we're going to have a lot more coverage, but we're going to take a quick break here now and come back with a lot more, so don't go away.
I'm Erica, and I'm an AmeriCorps member. All across the country, Americans are rolling up their sleeves to help each other, showing true strength of character and convictions.
I'm Victor. I'm a member of the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program. Americans are rich in kindness and compassion.
In spirit and enthusiasm.
Together, we make America strong. Together, we make America great.
Together, we are America.
Go to nationalservice.org and find out how you can serve.
Join us.
No matter where you are in life.
Serve your community.
To serve your country.
Choose where you serve.
It's your world.
It's your chance to make it better.
Apply online at nationalservice.org and answer the President's call to service.
Will and Grace.
You mentioned me in a three-way? I can barely imagine you in a two-way.
It's all about the heat.
Turn it up a notch.
Will and Grace.
Lord, this is hot.
5 days a week.
Now at a new time on Superstation WGN.
Hey, Becker, hey, hey, Becker.
Am I interested in changing my long-distance carrier?
Do you have a problem with these?
These?
These clothes.
Why don't you make a John Becker special?
You are looking at a live picture outside of Wrigley Field. It is packed with celebrating Cubs fans, but we're going to go back to Atlanta real quick. Kerry Wood is at the podium.
The Braves are one of the top offensive teams in baseball. You shut them down twice. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Well, there's no doubt about it. They're they didn't want to win 101 games for nothing, for no reason. So, I mean, they're a great ball club, a veteran club, an experienced club in the postseason. And today, you really just can't make mistakes to those guys. And I made a few mistakes and got away with a few mistakes today. But really, the biggest key for me today was strike one and getting ahead of the guys.
Kerry, how do you compare your first game victory with the way you pitched tonight? How do you compare the game earlier in the series with the one you won tonight?
Oh, well, I felt more comfortable today for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why, but I was a little more nervous for the first game, coming out of the bullpen and getting ready for the game. So today was really different for some reason. It was kind of freaking me out a little bit, to be honest with you. I wasn't really nervous. It was just really prepared to go out and pitch my game. And even when I got out there, it didn't really, it never really sunk in.
Getting an early lead, was that helpful to you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, anytime you can score runs early, and we scored, I think, in the first and the second. So, that helps your starting pitcher out a lot. But Hampton, he did it to us the last time he pitched. He gave up a couple early and shut us down the rest of the day, and he looked like he was going to do that again today. So you don't really take anything for granted. You know that you still got to go out and pitch a good game.
You've been around long enough to where the slower Cubs
problem in the past, and what made it? How did you guys overcome that negativity this year?
You've been around long enough to have heard about the lovable losers and the Cubs, and how did you avoid the negativity that could go with that?
Well, the same way we've done all year long. We don't listen to it. We stay positive and
Well, Sammy Sosa out on the field. Sammy, how's it feel?
It feels great. I mean, you've been in the team the whole year. You know everything that we've been through. Now we got a chance to celebrate. We come here to Atlanta, and got the victory. Is something that we need. Now, we're coming back home with the victory. We're getting ready for Tuesday, and we got 2 more steps to go.
Kerry Wood can pitch a little bit, can't he?
My goodness, when you got a guy like that in the mound, you don't need to score 20 runs. You only got to go out there, play different, and do the little thing and score a couple runs, and we'll be okay.
You guys got just enough offense, right?
No question about it. I mean, good pitching going to stop good hitter. I always say that. And in a short series like that, you see what happened.
What do you think when you look behind this dugout and see what's going on back here with these people?
It's great. Amazing. I mean, Chicago fans being all over the plate. It's something that it don't happen every day. They know we're going forward. They know we got a great team, and that's why they come all the way to Atlanta to support our team.
You guys making history. This hasn't happened in 95 years.
We're not going to start right here. We got 2 more steps to go.
All right, Sammy. See you, buddy. Sammy Sosa out here on the field, getting a look at this crazy group of fans. And I mean, it is absolutely unbelievable. The guys who have stayed and who are cheering these players, and more and more guys are starting to come out now. We'll see if we can grab a couple here. Well, there's Sammy over there. Grab Matt Clement here in a second. Mark Pryor. Well, Mark's moving along. We'll grab whoever we can get our hands on out here in a second. In the meantime, I'm sure you can hear the crowd.
Oh, it's fun pandemonium,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is. I mean, you
both
can
in
imagine.
Atlanta and Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, it has just gotten unbelievable, and the crowd just seems to keep growing and growing and growing.
Let's go to Judy Garcia live. She's down there among the crazy crowd.
Bob, you would not believe it. If you saw this crowd right now, you would think the Cubs had already won the World Series. Let me let you take a look at what's going on. There are thousands of people as far as you can see from the intersection of Clark and Addison. They are going crazy. It was not this crowded while the game was actually being played. But once we got into the later innings and it became apparent that this team might very well defeat the Atlanta Braves, then this place, Cubby Bear, and all the restaurants and bars all around here got very packed very quickly with lots of people out to cheer on their team. A moment ago we had Ronnie Woo-Woo with us. All these fans are as enthusiastic, if not more so, and I'm telling you, the police were smart enough to close down the major thoroughfares toward Wrigley at about the 7th inning when things were going in the Cubs' favor, and they knew it might very well happen. Again, if you take a look at this crowd, people for as far as you can see jammed in together, all chanting in favor of their team. And I'm going to send it back to you guys. I have no idea what you're saying to me. I'm hoping you can hear just a little bit of the energy that's going on right now outside of Wrigley. I'm throwing it back to you.
Okay, Dan Rose standing by with Eric Karros.
Yesterday, and then you guys came back and got him. And what about the way Woody pitched?
I mean, Woody's been, he's been dominant all year long. He and Pryor has just been unbelievable. For him to come out and give a performance like he did tonight against an offense like the Braves, I mean, it's something special.
We'll let you go add some to that reel, man.
Okay, thanks.
Congratulations. What's up, Tommy? Tom Goodwin now. Nice work there in the 8th inning.
Yeah, it was team effort all the way. Guys are stepping up. Obviously, the pitching we have is, is going to make us and break us, but, those guys want the ball every 4th, 5th day, whatever it's going to be, and they're not afraid to go out and go after people.
Well, you watch Kerry and Pryor pitch, and you must be glad you don't have to stand up there and face them.
I tease them like I do want to face them, but I really don't. They're just magnificent. They go out there. Not just those two. Carlos does it. Matty's does it. Shawnee has some good games for us. Cruzy came in and pitched some good games for us. Like I said, it's just been a total team effort. I'm proud of the guys, and hope the city of Chicago. Hope you guys partying like you should, but, keep it down a little bit and wait for us to get there.
Yeah, I'll guarantee you it's going pretty good right now back home. And, this crowd, hey, Mike, how you doing? Mike Remlinger here as well. What do you think of this, all these guys?
This is incredible. Just take a little page out of Oakland's book, and they had Raider Nation in Chicago. We got Cub Nation following us all around.
The Cubdom, as your boy said.
The Cubdom. Very nice. I like it.
Well, you guys deserve it. I mean, this only happens every 95 years or so.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be around if it's for the next one. I'll try to be hanging on, but I probably won't be.
What do you think? Oh, absolutely. And Tom, you just said great team effort. Mike, what did you think of the way Kerry pitched tonight?
I mean, all month of September, he was phenomenal. And I mean, every time you think he's just like, what else can he do to top it? He comes out and pitches even better. I mean, every game for the last month, he's gotten better and better and better, and it's hard to believe he's doing what he's doing. And I mean, our pitchers have done a phenomenal job and played great defense the whole month, and that's the key. And we just got to keep playing as a team. We're gonna go.
You guys go enjoy the night. We'll see you back in Chicago tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Tom Goodwin, Mike Remlinger here in the field with us, and we'll send it back to the studio right now. Come back with some more players in a moment.
All right, Dan, great. A lot of excitement going on in Atlanta, and a lot of excitement. We keep seeing these pictures that are live from the corner of Addison and Clark Street.
Incredible, isn't it?
And we've been sitting here trying to make a crowd estimate on the size of that crowd. And Jackie, you were there, or you saw it last week.
Well, I'm guessing from last Saturday, they filled up the corner, and that was from, look at the group down there dancing. And do you notice what they have in their hands? I'm getting onto another subject. They've got 2x4s that say "Got Wood" on it, thanks to Kerry Wood. But gosh, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, when they spilled out from, I think more. I think we got a little quarter bet going on here, Bob and Rich.
Well, you got a good view of it because it's taking up the entire street there. I imagine it surrounds Wrigley Field. I think Bob is right. 5 or 10, maybe.
Yeah, that camera is up on the roof of the Cubby Bear, so it has a bird's eye view of Wrigley Field.
You know, this neighborhood, though, is so susceptible to this kind of thing. People, obviously, watching the Cub game, big population in that area. Why not come out and celebrate on a Sunday night and have a party? And it's like a street party. That's what it is, street dancing, I guess. And that's literally what it is, street dancing.
Well, you have all the high-rise apartment buildings in the area, which, I mean, that's a very densely populated area, so it doesn't take long for people to just spill out of their apartment buildings and show up there.
And he's Martha and the Vandellas, right?
I think we got Joe Borowski.
All right, Joe Borowski, Cup reliever.
At the podium there. Why don't we go back to Turner Field?
Come in, Joe.
Some of those folks came prepared, didn't they?
You were, Joe, you were with the Braves back to the minors for a long time. How does it feel for you personally tonight to have come through this?
Unbelievably satisfying. It's hard to put into words to pretty much, Atlanta was the place where I first had pretty much a taste of being in the big leagues, and I didn't get too much of a chance to really pitch on a consistent basis. And then I, shuffled around for a while and found a home in Chicago, and to come back here and be able to succeed and beat them in a series is just, icing on the cake.
Thank you.
You and I played in Atlanta together. Yeah.
Stage for this. On the way down and before the game tonight, Mark, how were you guys feeling, given the fact that you had a chance to run it out at home, didn't get it done, and had to come back here and win a Game 5?
Well, I think at first we were upset a little bit that we kind of lost an opportunity at home and kind of get the day off. But I think overall, the attitude today, everybody came in like a normal Sunday, watched the football games, check on their fantasy team, and everybody was pretty relaxed. I mean, there was no urgency, no panicking, and I think we played like that. Right off the bat, Kenny got us going, and that just, I think, built confidence and that we knew we could win this game.
Just like your game on Friday night, you guys got the early lead, and that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It makes a huge difference, just from the standpoint that we have a little bit of wiggle room. We don't have to make such perfect pitches, and not everything gets magnified, if there's just a simple signal and, button them over and stuff like that. So getting those 2 runs in the first 2 innings and then a big home run from Ramirez, I think everybody knew we were on our way.
Well, it sure looked like it, and you are. You're going to play Florida starting Tuesday, and the good news is it starts at Wrigley Field.
Well, the good news is it starts at Wrigley Field. The bad news is I hear it's warming up. I thought that'd be an advantage for us. So, they got a great team. They've been playing great baseball. They got great pitching, and it's going to be another tight series, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it's October. It's not going to be that warm.
Well, you know, I kind of enjoyed the 45. I thought that was to our advantage. But, you know, they played in Miami, so it's kind of hot down there all the time. They're not used to the cold weather.
Well, you have if it goes that far, you'll have the advantage at Wrigley with 4 games there. And obviously, if you're just looking at the people that are here all the way back to the concourse, you know what it's going to be like at home.
Yeah, no, it's going to be hectic, and it's been hectic the last 3 weeks since we've been there. Every time we're at home, they're there supporting us in full force. So I hope they get a chance to get home, get back to work tomorrow, and enjoy themselves.
All right, you go have some fun. We'll see you in Chicago.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Mark Pryor, who had that terrific game on Friday night that gave the Cubs the series lead, and then, of course, his pitching counterpart, Kerry Wood, got the job done here tonight with a little relief help in the 9th inning from Joe Borowski. And I'm telling you right now, Dan, if you want to turn around, these fans are not going anywhere. They're getting a champagne shower from Kyle Farnsworth. They've gone through about a case out here, I think, already. And it is an unbelievable scene here at the TED. And now we have Moises Alou. Mo, congratulations. What a terrific night, huh?
Thank you. It was unbelievable. You know, the support that we had from the Chicago fans, come all the way down here and support us. That was pretty nice. It really make us proud and really make us work harder to go all the way.
Well, I asked Mark Pryor this. I want to ask you the same thing. How did you guys feel coming down last night on the plane and before the game today, knowing that you had the opportunity to end this thing in Chicago in 4 games and had to come back down here and do it in 5?
You know, it was a nice and smooth trip. Everybody was very relaxed. There was a lot of joking on the plane. A lot of our family were on the plane too. And there was no pressure at all. I mean, this team, everybody's really been pretty confident about our ball club. And like I said, you know, it was too bad we didn't win in Chicago, but I think it really helped us that we went to a game 5. Why? Because if we have to do it again, we've been there before. There's some guys that haven't been there before, and I think that was a pretty nice experience for us to get. And I mean, everybody, when I got here on the bus, everybody was pretty relaxed. Everybody was very confident, and it was nice to win.
Well, you're going back to play Florida, the team that you played for back in the 90s. How does that strike?
Good. You know, I wish it would have been San Fran. You know, I really wanted my dad's team to win, and then we wanted to beat them. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. But we had to go to Florida and try to beat a very good young Marlins team. I really like this team a lot. You know, I think our pitch is unbelievable, and we got some momentum going.
All right, man. Go have some fun. Thanks a lot. Here's Kerry Wood making his way out. Bottle of champagne in hand. And he's going for the crowd right now. Carlos Zambrano is out. I mean, these pictures are incredible. See Josh Paul on the field now. Eric Harris is over here recording it all on his video camera. Here comes Woody. And here he is. Kerry, congratulations. What a night.
It's been awesome. I mean, we still feel like we got a lot of work to do, but we're going to celebrate tonight and get back to work tomorrow.
As well you should, man. What a pitching performance in this game.
You know, it was the defense played great for me tonight, and you know, to get out to an early lead, they scored a couple runs for us early, and it was makes it a little bit easier to pitch.
Yeah, Mark had that advantage on Friday too, and I know it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to relax in these type of games as it is, but when you get an early lead, you can tend to relax a little bit.
Well, you were throwing strikes from pitch 1 tonight.
I think that was the key for me tonight, was just getting ahead with the fastball and getting strike 1, and man, this is just awesome.
What about this crowd?
They're awesome. They're still here. They come all the way from all over. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable.
Gary, your streak going back to the regular season is, I think, 7 earned runs in 58 innings. Is this the kind of pitcher you've always wanted to become this last month or so, the way you put your game all together?
Well, I mean, everybody likes, we play this game to pitch in big games, and the last month and a half down the stretch, every game we played in was big, and I think our starting staff has thrived on that and pitching in big games, and we've stepped up as a staff.
Okay, we have Judy Garcia standing by as Kerry Wood wraps it up there with Dan Rowan standing by in the Wrigley area again at Clark and Edison. Judy, what's going on out there? Need I say more?
You know what? Let me show you something. Take me out to the ball. There is probably nowhere else where you could get the home fans to do that. And mind you, if you saw this crowd tonight, you would swear that the Cubbies had already won the World Series, and of course they haven't. We're one step closer to the pennant, which brings us another step closer to the World Series. But if you ask these fans which team is number one, they're going to tell you it has always been the Cubbies before tonight. For as far as you can see, there are Cub fans in every direction you look. They have turned out in force. Now, admittedly, early on tonight, there weren't that many people out to watch the game. But in the later innings, when it looked inevitable for the Cubs to bring this one home, everybody began to turn out, and they're standing around, they're cheering. This is probably the most enthusiastic I've ever seen Cub fans. And it doesn't take much for a Cub fan to get going, because mind you, there hasn't been a whole lot to cheer about in past seasons, but let me just tell you, tonight, these fans cannot be contained. They are out, they're proud, they're Cubs fans, and I can't hear a thing you're saying, so I'm going to send it back to you.
Wow. I'm exhausted watching her.
Yeah.
I certainly hope that the players will get to see what kind of fans are doing here, what the fans are doing in Chicago. I mean, they certainly appreciate all that the fans have been doing in Atlanta, the Cub fans, but look what they're doing in Chicago as well.
Well, let's hope that they'll get a chance to see some of the replays of this. But before we get to that, I wanted to ask you, you correctly predicted this, didn't you?
He did.
Tell
us what your prediction was.
My predictions are so bad sometimes I worry about being wrong. It was Cubs in 5.
All right.
And all the games, it figured, though, the way the pitching shaped up, that Wood and Pryor would win and the other two guys would lose, so that's what it came down. Now, this series upcoming
Let me
with
ask
Florida,
you about that. What's your prediction on this
well,
upcoming?
the Cubs are going to be heavy favorites, I think. This is a wild card team they're playing. They got some pitching. Josh Beckett, Mark Redmond, these guys can throw the ball a little bit. They've got some pitching. They got Ivan Rodriguez, who's had a great series in the previous series against the Giants. They've got some hitting. They're a pesky little team, but when you look at the Cub pitching, the way they're on a roll, you'd have to say the Cubs in 5. That's what my initial prediction would be, Cubs in 5 or 6.
Okay, Rich, I'm writing that down right now.
No,
Cubs
I think I told this before the series began, that if the Cubs got by Atlanta, they'd make it to the World Series, so I'll stand by it.
Okay.
I'm writing all of this down, folks. You're writing this down at home.
Well, the Cubs
You'll
won't
be
get
right.
much time to rest before the next series begins. They will face the Florida Marlins, and that is Tuesday night right here at Wrigley Field. The National League Championship Series is a best-of-7 game series. Games 1 and 2 will be played here. They will head to Miami for games 3, 4, and 5 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then back to Wrigley for games 6 and 7. If necessary, if we listen to Rich, well...
It won't be.
Yep.
Okay, I think we have Dan Rowan standing by for a final thought. And Dan, I guess you look ahead on this whole thing. You look at Florida coming up. That's the next step. And the Cubs pitching, it was shaped up great in this series. I guess it shapes up pretty well right now for that other series, too.
Well, there's not much question about that, Rich. They'll be in perfect order again once they start on Tuesday. It's kind of hard to think ahead, to be perfectly honest with you, after seeing what has happened out here tonight and how long it's been since the Cubs ever did anything like this. And the crowd here has been sensational all 3 games. I know they're going absolutely bonkers at Clark and Addison right now, too. It has been an incredible night in Chicago sports history. It's been thrilling to be a part of it here in Atlanta. And we can't wait to get home to Chicago and get that National League Championship Series underway on Tuesday.
All right, Dan, nice job. Thank you very much. Get some rest.
And as we're watching, Dan, we're watching Clark and Addison become a mosh pit.
That's right. Well, it seems still to be a pretty orderly crowd, and that's the good thing about it.
That's the good news. Everybody's happy, having a good time. That's the main thing. We don't want any problems.
No problems. Chicago's finest are there, kind of controlling the situation, and exuberant fine. We don't want to see anyone get out of control.
And the celebration will continue, we hope, on to Tuesday when they begin their first win.
You know, see, that's what makes Wrigley feel so unique, though. I mean, if this was another ballpark, there's a parking lot over there. There's streets over there, and people in the streets, and taverns, and whatever else is in the area, stores. So this is what makes this neighborhood unique, and that's why the Cubs have a special niche in baseball, have always had a niche in baseball, because this is the way it used to be, as you mentioned, 85 years ago. There we are. That's the same place, and that's what the tradition of the game is all about, and this area certainly sums it up. It's a great area, and when you go into it, you just go back in time, and that's what this old neighborhood feeling is all about.
Oh, the mother in me says, be careful, boys, be careful. Right. Boys and girls.
Well, if you're that young, we're that young, we'd be out there and celebrating too. We're here working, though. maybe we'll go out there after the show.
Okay.
That's going to about wrap up our coverage for this wonderful, exciting event as the Cubs have won it down in Atlanta in 5 games and facing the Florida Marlins for the next series. We sure appreciate your joining us this evening for this exciting and historic coverage, for that matter. And stay with us.
Yeah, as they say in the signs, we believe. Well, they believe, and we are no longer the lovable losers. We will have more on this tomorrow morning. Be sure to wake up at 5:30 in the morning for all the Cubs post-game and everything about the celebrations.
That's
right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Some of those folks will be waking up in the morning going...
This has been a WGN News special report. We now return you to regularly scheduled programming.
So they took off some of the rough edges of their product and said, here's a product for you who may be working 60 hours a week in a law office or an accounting office, but you give me $20,000 and I'm going to give you comfort and freedom.
What do I love about it? It's a state of mind. It's just the freedom they have and the time to think to yourself. It's awesome.
What do you do for a living?
I am actually Director of Business Development for a credit union.
In 1986, Harley makes a bold move in styling and engineering by releasing the Heritage Softail. And to diversify its holdings, Harley-Davidson is publicly traded for the first time since 1969, the year of the AMF merger.
Well, Maria, I've lost my voice. We're here at the parade. It's wonderful.
This is the most unbelievable gathering I have ever seen, beyond anything I could ever imagine.
Yeah, it's been great all morning long, and it just goes and goes and goes.
A total assault on your ears and eyes.
We're going to show you more of some of these wonderful images when we come back.
Question: by 1969, how many motorcycles were being manufactured a year? We'll give you the answer when we return. If you would like to own a copy of this outstanding keepsake program marking the historic Harley 100th birthday celebration, call the number on your screen. Act now. VHS tapes are only $24.95, DVD versions $28.95 plus shipping and handling. Both contain additional unseen exciting video of this once-in-a-lifetime event. Don't miss this opportunity for yourself, a loved one, or someone who wanted to be there but couldn't. Show the kids and grandkids where you were for the Harley 100.